Holly, can you hear me all right?
I can, Your Honor.
Gosh. The printer went
You may
on.
want to turn your volume up just a little bit though, because it is a little faint.
Can you hear me all right now?
Yes, I'm gonna turn mine up. Yes, I got you.
All right. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Judge Law, and we are going to begin with our first appearance misdemeanor calendar. This is misdemeanor cases in which individuals were recently arrested and booked at the Fulton County Jail. Soon after being booked in, their cases have now been formally accused by the Solicitor General of Fulton County, who is the prosecutor. When I address each of the cases for the new defendants, please remember that you have a right to remain silent. Anything that you choose to say in open court, your statements can and will be used against you in the treatment of the case. You have a right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to represent you. With regards to these new cases, I'm going to address them with the defendant, defendant's counsel, and the prosecutor on a one-on-one basis. And the information that we're going to share is what is your defendant's new case number, the charges brought against him or her, to set a bond, appoint counsel where required, and to provide you with a new court date. If you are not an attorney, if you are an alleged victim, a family member, a friend, or someone here who's testifying against or for a defendant, please switch your video off and keep your screen muted. You can chime in when the particular defendant is being addressed. Again, switch your video off and keep your screen muted and chime in when that defendant is being addressed. Ms. Bridgewater, the next court date is going to be
June the 2nd.
okay. Courtroom 2. Oh, sorry. Am I addressing ACDC? Who do we have, Deputy?
Position number 3.
Angela Belcher is accused of simple battery, family violence, criminal trespass, and willful obstruction of an officer, 26 CR 3251A. Ms. Belcher, you've been advised of your rights. Your attorney is going to be Ms. Renford. Any priors?
5 cycles. Last arrest was August 4th, 2022, out of Fulton County for possession of a Schedule 1 or 2 controlled substance, possession of a Schedule 3 or 5 controlled substance. That case was dismissed. 1 conviction from 2005 for willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer. Pretrial's recommendation is a level 2, Your Honor, and nothing further.
Thank you. Ms. Tucker?
Yes, Judge. We're asking for a $1,500 good bond on the simple battery, family violence, $1,000 good on the criminal trespass, and $1,000 good on the obstruction, for a total of $3,500. With the conditions no further contact with Turquoise Gamble, and to complete an MHET. These facts allege that an argument the previous night led to the victim leaving the home to get away from the situation, but when she returned the next day, this date, the locks had been changed, with all of her stuff, her wallet, her phone, shoes, work laptop, everything was still inside. She was living there. So she called 911. When the officers arrived, the defendant refused to answer the door, refused to help. The victim had to smash the window to her room with a rock and climb in. And once she was in there, she tried to unlock the door. The defendant kept grabbing her hands, throwing them away. We were able to speak with Miss Gamble. She said that they've been together for about 3 years and everything started off well, but now there's been a lot of red flags. She says the defendant has made countless threats on her life, has caused her to feel concerned for her safety, so she does want a no further contact. She still has some items in the home, but she doesn't even feel that comfortable returning to the home. So I am going to request, I don't know if you can grant it, a police escort for the victim to be able to go get her items. She doesn't want to live with this defendant anymore. And she believes that there are MH issues here at play. So for
Please
these
advise,
reasons, we're asking for the $3,500 total good bond.
please advise the alleged victim that she can go to the local precinct and ask for a police officer in order to make sure there's a peaceful recovery of items. Okay, Ms. Renford?
Yes, Your Honor. Miss Belcher is 42 years of age. She's been in Georgia all her life. She's currently unemployed. She mentioned to me that she's actively looking for a job. She has received her GED and hopes that this situation can be resolved soon. She cannot afford much of a bond because she is unemployed at the moment, Your Honor. And so I'd be asking for a signature bond on her behalf. If a signature bond is not applicable here for Miss Belcher, Your Honor, I'd be asking for no more than 1,000 max surety.
It's going to be 1,000 on each count. There's a 3,000 signature bond for pretrial services level 2. No further contact with Kwesi Gamble. And she may return to the rental property, but Ms. Gamble has a right to visit the property once with a police officer to retrieve her items. Ms. Belcher, although I'm giving you a signature bond, you're under a strict directive to not tamper or destroy any of the property belonging to the victim, to Kwesi Gamble. Otherwise, you can be subject to civil damages or a revocation of this bond. Your next court date will be sent to your current address. You are not to consume any illegal drugs, no alcohol, no weapons, and you have to complete 6 anger awareness classes. Thank you. Next case.
Position number 5, Kofi.
Colville.
Yeah. Okay.
Julia Cofield is accused of simple battery and criminal trespass, 26 CR 31658. Any priors?
9 Cycles, last arrest April 1st, 2026, out of Cobb County for willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer. That does appear to be an open case. There's also an open case out of DeKalb County for criminal trespassing. Appears to be on probation out of Henry County for aggravated assault and 2 counts of battery. Sentenced in that case, May 17, 2022 to 5 years probation. Recommendation is a level 3, Your Honor. Nothing further.
Ms. Harvey, I'm sorry, our prosecutor is Ms. Tucker.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, this could be mine. What was the case?
Is position 5.
Position 5.
Julia Cofield.
Don't believe this is one of mine.
Who's the third prosecutor?
Was
Great
this a
question.
reset?
It was reset from Monday, yes, May 18th,
Okay,
reset.
give me one moment. Okay, luckily I have her notes from Monday. Okay. We're asking for a $1,500 good bond on position or on count 1, the simple battery, and $1,000 good on the criminal trespass for a total of $2,500 with conditions no further contact with victim Suzette Weaver and to stay away from 234 Memorial Drive in Atlanta. We're also going to ask for a social worker visit. These facts allege that the defendant had been trespassed from this property before on November of 2025. So on this date, the security guard, our victim, told her to leave the property. The defendant became aggressive, punched her twice in the face. This location is Welcome House. It's a low-income housing building, but Miss Weaver does not live there and has already been trespassed from there. Excuse me, not Miss Weaver. Miss Cofield has already been trespassed from there. We did speak with Miss Weaver. She says she worked security there from time to time. The defendant consistently comes on the property even though she's banned, has never been violent with her before, but after this, she's very afraid, would like to stay away, and a no further contact order. And I do remember this case. Miss Weaver was on the Zoom on Monday, but I don't think she's come back today. If we could sound for her just in case.
Suzette Weaver, if you're on Zoom, please unmute and start the video. All right, Ms. Renford?
Yes, Your Honor. Miss Kofel is 33 years of age. She has a good mailing address, her mom's address in McDonough. She's been in Georgia since 2008, and she mentioned to me she was born and raised in NOLA. She's currently unemployed, but she mentioned that she's looking and waiting patiently to get a job. She has no issues staying away from the 234 Memorial Drive address, and I'd be asking for a signature bond on her behalf due to the fact that she is unemployed currently and would not be able to afford a bond. If a signature bond is not applicable for her, Your Honor, I'd be asking for the lowest reasonable amount.
Unfortunately, the law has changed. She's got open probation and 2 open cases. The simple battery is going to be 1,000. On the criminal trespass is 500. This is a $1,500 surety bond. Stay away from 234 Memorial Drive. She's to stay 200 yards away from the Welcome House location, and no contact with Suzette Weaver. She'll need a social worker to address housing and MH issues. Next court date is going to be June 2nd.
Position number 9, Miss Doss.
Your Honor, I'm in receipt of a consent bond on this.
All right. Kelly Doss is accused of simple battery from 26 CR 3253C. Ms. Tucker, do you have a consent proposal for this, for bond?
Yes, Judge. It's gonna be for $1,000 signature bond through level 1 with conditions no further violent contact with Kirbia Smith.
And this is through pretrial, not diversion.
Correct.
Okay. Ms. Renford, did your client agree to these terms?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'll accept the terms of this consent bond. Ms. Doss, you may be released on a signature bond. You'll be required to report to pretrial services once a month and have no violent altercations with Kirby Smith. Thank you.
Position number 10,
Nancy Doumbia is accused of battery family violence, case 26 CR 3223B. Any priors?
First arrest, Your Honor. Recommendation is a UJR through the jail. Nothing further.
Ms. Tucker?
Yes, Judge, we're asking for a $1,500 good bond with conditions no further contact with Amanda Doumbia and to stay away from 10555 Windbridge Drive in Johns Creek. The facts allege that the mother and the witness, Miss Aminita Diallo, called 911 after hearing the sisters, the defendant and the victim, fighting in the victim's room. The stepsister, also a witness, tried to separate them, but the defendant began the physical altercation by pulling this victim's hair and slapping her multiple times, leaving 2 red scratches on her arm. We were unable to get in touch with the victim, so for that reason, I'm not recommending a signature bond. We're asking for that $1,500 good bond, no further contact, and stay away.
Ms. Renford?
Yes, Your Honor. Miss Doumbia is 19 years old. She was born in Chicago, raised in France, but she's been here since 15 years of age. She graduated from Johns Creek High School and she's currently at Georgia State University. She's also unemployed, Your Honor, but she is trying to find a job to have part-time while she's studying. She did mention to me that she does have belongings at her mom's house in Johns Creek. So if she's not going to be able to go back, I'd be just asking for her to get a one-time escort to retrieve those belongings. She did give me another address where she plans to go. So I think she'll be okay with not being able to go back to the house, only to just retrieve her belongings. So I'd be asking for a signature bond on her behalf due to the fact that she is a student and she's not working.
Is that new residence in Fulton County or nearby?
It's in Powder Springs, Your Honor.
Okay. Well, I consider it nearby, no matter what other people think. But Miss Nancy Doumbia, unfortunately, this is a situation where if you don't comply with the bond conditions, you could end up back in jail on a no bond status. So presently, your bond is going to be $2,500. going to be a signature bond for pretrial services, level 1. You are to have no further contact with Amanda Dumbia, and you're required to stay away from 10555 Windbridge Drive in Johns Creek. Within 30 days of being released, you shall come down to the clerk's office and provide us with your new address in writing, because right now we do not have a good address on you on file. And we'll need that good address so that we can send you your court summons. If you don't show up to court when summoned, your bond will be revoked. You report to pretrial once a month. No illegal drugs, no alcohol, and no weapons. Thank you.
I think he didn't he bond.
Hey, Judge, can you give me that bond again?
2,500 signature bond, pretrial level 1.
All right, position 35 next.
All right.
Madison Poole is accused of simple battery. I'm sorry, my calendar dates did not print out well, so I can only give you the accusation number and the charge. The charge is simple battery. Case number is 26 CR 3262J. Ms. Poole has been advised of her rights. Any priors?
No, Your Honor. First arrest recommendation is a level 1 and nothing further.
Mr. Scaraca?
Yes, Your Honor, this was the incident took place December 17th, 2025, as alleged at 2975 Headland Drive in Atlanta, Dollar General location, which apparently is no longer there. The officer made contact with the victim, Ms. Shanita Anderson. She explained that she was pepper sprayed during a verbal altercation with a female customer she had told her that she couldn't leave items unattended. There was profanity leveled towards her, and she had directed the defendant to exit the premises, and that continued to escalate to the point where she pepper sprayed her in the face before fleeing the store. Video footage corroborated this, and the defendant admitted as well to pepper spraying, if I'm not mistaken. Photo lineup was conducted, confirmed her identity. Judge, interestingly enough, while this is her first arrest, it's not the only thing she's currently being
I'm
convicted
familiar
of.
with the other case.
Yeah, the other, which also involved pepper spray of multiple family members, including a child. So that's concerning for the state. Very very free with the use of pepper spray, just not with just in her family, but outside in public in the community. So we are concerned with respect to this case. The state is recommending a $3,000 surety, 4 days anger awareness, no further contact with Shanita Anderson, and no drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond. Additionally, we did speak with Ms. Anderson. She confirmed the events in the warrant, and she has not had altercations with the defendant since this. And she confirmed that Dollar General address has closed, but she does want no further contact with the defendant, and that should be it. If we could send for Ms. Anderson.
Janita Anderson, if you're on Zoom and you want to address the court, please unmute and start your video. All right, Ms. Kim.
Yes, Your Honor. My client, this school is only 17 years young, Your Honor. This is her first arrest. Actually, tomorrow, 6 p.m., she has a graduation ceremony to attend. So I really want her to get a signature on bond so she can get released to attend her high school graduation, Your Honor, which is very important in her life. Your Honor, this was self-defense, Your Honor. She was illegally, unlawfully detained by the employee who just had some kind of drugs or marijuana, became high and irate. My client was protecting herself because she was afraid of being detained illegally, and it was a very scary experience for a 17 years old little girl, Your Honor. I would like to request for a signature on bond. If Your Honor is not inclined to give him a signature on bond, we ask for $1,500 surety bond to remain set. It's already there. And please, this is her first arrest. Thank you, Your Honor.
And just to, Your Honor would recall the warrant with respect to the evidence cutting against the defendant's narrative to officers here, as well as the video footage. So I'll just say that.
All right, thank you. On the simple battery, that's going to be a $3,000 signature bond for pretrial services level 3. She will report to pretrial services once a week, and this will be for a 12-month duration. No illegal drugs, no alcoholic beverages, and she is not to own or possess or have any weapons, including firearms, pepper spray, tasers, whatever counts as a weapon. She's not allowed to have any of them. No contact with Shanita Anderson. And as I said, this is going to be a signature bond through pretrial level 3, which means that she reports to pretrial services once a week. She's got a $400 good bond on her felony case. So Ms. Poole, make sure you comply with the conditions. Do not risk being back in jail on both cases. Thank you.
All right, position 30, McCoy. Cam.
Ms. Bridgewater, that last case pulls a 12-month duration, level 3.
Yes, ma'am, I got it.
Tamisa McCoy is accused of stalking, 26 CR 3245H. Any priors?
10 cycles. The last arrest was in 2019 out of Clayton County for battery. That case was dismissed. There's an 07 drug conviction, 1998 aggravated assault. Recommendation from pretrial is a level 2 and nothing further.
Ms. Tucker?
Yes, Judge, we're asking for a $2,000 good bond with conditions no further contact with Shatanya Brown and to stay away from 5761 Barrington Run in Union City. These facts allege that Brown stated that her and McCoy were once dating the same guy, but other than that, she doesn't know her. We did speak with Brown, and that this defendant has just been harassing her, calling her, and then what happened inside Fulton County's jurisdiction on this date, she placed an item in her mailbox. So we did speak with Ms. Brown. She doesn't live there anymore, but she wants still wants her to stay away from that location. She said she left because she's in fear for her safety, and now that she knows, she knew that she lived there, she didn't want to be there. She definitely wants a no further contact. She said she wants to be here today and wants to make a statement. She didn't know if that could happen, but if we could sound for her, Shatanya Brown.
Ms. Brown, if you're on Zoom and you want to chime in, this is the time to do so. All right, Ms. Renford?
Yes, Your Honor. Miss McCoy is 53 years of age. She's been in Georgia all her life. She is a proud grandma of 3. She has a 17-year-old child. She's currently doing DoorDash, Your Honor, and she has a GED. She has no problem staying away from the address, Your Honor. I'd just be asking for a signature bond for her, so that she will be able to get released.
Bond's going to be set at $3,500. It's a signature bond for pretrial services, level 2. And no further contact with Ms. Shatanya Brown, which means staying 200 yards away from her residence, wherever she lives, 200 yards away from wherever she's located. And if you violate those conditions, well, let me go through the conditions. No contact means no contact in person, through mail, email, third party, phones, computers, social media, or even through any other means. So that includes not delivering any items to any mailbox belonging to Ms. Brown. Thank you.
Hey, Judge, he has additional charge. Is there additional charge to NOD?
It was NOD, correct.
All right, thank you. All right, position 31. Are you good? Go back.
Ashley Morrison's accused of.
Hello, Judge.
A bit too late, Ms. Brown, please mute your screen. Ashley Morrison's accused of battery family violence, case 26 CR 3248B. Ms. Morrison has been advised of her rights. Ms. Harvey?
3 cycles. Last arrest was June 19th, 2025, out of Forest Park, Georgia, for simple battery. There was no disposition listed for this case. There's a 2010 simple battery and criminal trespass conviction. Recommendation from pretrial was a level 1 and nothing further.
Mr. Scirocco, excuse me.
Yes, Your Honor. This was the May 19th incident, 960 Constitution Road. The victim's name is Mr. Reginald Horde. The defendant had visited his residence. They used to date, and they share a child together, juvenile AH, to retrieve belongings belonging to her older child. And after entering the residence, there was a dispute that escalated to become physical, where she put hands on him. He had visible lacerations to his face and forearm. And we did speak with Mr. Horde. He and the defendant were together for 5 years, he states, and he raised the defendant's children during this time, including the defendant's daughter. And he had kicked that daughter out. I'm not sure if how old. Oh, I believe she is of age. Emery out, and she had come to live with him. They'd been living with him. She'd been living with him for 2 months, and she was calling him disrespectful. There was a whole dispute that escalated between them, wherein the mother then started to intervene. This was after Emery began grabbing and throwing things belonging to the defendant out of the bathroom. And it was at this point that the defendant busted in his front door, began attacking him, scratching him, causing the lacerations. And then Emery apparently also, Emoni, jumped in as well. Yes, Judge. And there was there was a portion of this incident where he states that the defendant actually grabbed his gun off of the bathroom counter and tried to run out the door. So there was some struggle for that firearm. And he also found that items of his were stolen when he had returned. And he called the police. He says he wasn't too concerned with respect to the altercation itself, but he is not okay with his items being stolen. And he wants a stay away order and a no contact order. I don't believe he's on here. If we could sound for him when appropriate. With the prior violent conviction, I understand it's older, but there's also another one that's presumably open from just June of last year out of Forest Park. As you heard from pretrial, we are recommending a $2,500 surety. We're recommending FFIB, no further contact with Reginald Horde, stay away from 960 Constitution Road in Atlanta, and no drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond.
Ms. Renfrey?
Yes, Your Honor. Miss Morrison is 36 years of age. She currently resides in Decatur. She's been in Georgia all her life. She's currently unemployed. She mentioned to me that she did have a job interview scheduled for today, but obviously she has missed that because of where she is currently. She is a high school graduate. She does have 4 children, Your Honor, which she supports. She is denying the allegations, and she's mentioned to me that she was the one actually that called the cops. She does have her eldest child's graduation to attend on Friday at 10 a.m. So I'd be asking for a signature bond for her so that she's able to get out in time to support her child at her graduation on Friday morning, Your Honor.
Thank you. Bond's going to be set at $3,500. It's going to be a signature bond through pretrial services, level 2. No further contact with Reginald Horde, to stay away from his residence, his place of employment, or wherever he's physically located. No illegal drugs, no alcohol, no weapons. While she's out on a pretrial bond, she will complete 12 anger awareness classes at a minimum rate of one class a month. Ms. Bridgewater, this will be a 12-month duration with pretrial. If you violate any of these conditions, you will be back in jail with no bond status. With regard to Ms. Brown, you can remain on the Zoom. I'll try to address you when I'm done with all these other cases. Thank you.
All right, good. Next case in position 1516. Right on.
Simona Lynette Gibson is accused of battery family violence, case 26 CR 3259B. Any priors, Ms. Harvey?
No, Your Honor. First arrest. Recommendation is a UJR. Nothing further.
And Ms. Tucker?
Yes, Judge, we're recommending a $2,000 good bond with conditions no further contact with Jyricus Rains. This victim was in the process of moving out when an argument began over gas money. The victim tried to push her out of the way so he could exit the closet, but the defendant bit him in the stomach. The defendant then pushed him out of the apartment and locked him out until officers came, where they did see a bright red mark on his stomach where he was bitten. We were unable to get in touch with Mr. Rains, so I cannot recommend a signature bond. We're asking for that $2,000 good bond and no further contact.
Mr. Murphy?
Judge, my client is age 29. She was in the United States Marine Corps for 8 years. She is now a disabled veteran. The incident location in Sandy Springs is actually an apartment. The lease is in her name. They do not have any children. They have not worked together. Again, my client was the one that paid all the bills at this facility. And my client says that she was on the end of most of the troubles in this relationship, Judge. We're fine with no further contact whatsoever, but I'd ask the court to consider the signature bond therein. And again, the lease is in her name, not his. She's the one that paid rent there.
Jyricus Rain, I think he is supposed to have left already. I understand he was vacating the premises. Yeah, have you left the premises?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, go ahead, mute your screen. Thank you.
Okay.
Bond is going to be set at $3,500. It's going to be a signature bond for pretrial services. Level 2, 6 anger awareness classes. She is to do those classes at a minimum rate of 1 class a month. And she can return to the Grayfield Lane location. She's not allowed to own any firearms. So if she owns any firearms due to a military background, she would need to surrender them to the authorities for destruction. No illegal drugs and no alcoholic beverages. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Mr. Murphy, are you sure you don't have any other cases?
I do. I have 6 more.
Okay, thank you.
Your Honor, can I say something?
No? Next case?
Position number 12.
Sadira Diaja Fauntleroy is accused of harassing communications. Case number 26 CR 3256C. Ms. Fauntleroy, you've been advised of your rights. Ms. Harvey, there you go.
Yes, Your Honor. Multi-state offender with 2 cycles out of Virginia and 2 out of Illinois. Last arrest was in 2014 out of Illinois for endangering a child. There was no disposition. There's a 2010 larceny conviction. Recommendation from pretrial, Your Honor, is a level 2 and nothing further.
Ms. Tucker?
Yes, Judge, we're asking for a $2,500 good bond in this case with no further contact with Stephen Wilson or any of his family members, and to stay away from where he lives at 1235 Deerfield Point in Milton. This defendant was contacting Mr. Wilson as well as his wife and other family members via social media to just harass them, intimidate them, created several online profiles of their newborn baby and said, you know, be careful of this baby dying. He's gonna die of SIDS. Just very disturbing messages and disturbing behavior. We were unable to get into contact with Mr. Wilson if we could sound for him in case he's on here today. Otherwise, we're asking for that $2,500 good bond with no further contact with Mr. Wilson or any members of his family, and that stay away.
Stephen Wilson, if you want to address the court, please unmute and start your video. All right, Ms. Ms. Renford, oh, Ms. Kim, sorry. Oh, Judy Kim, different Judy Kim. Okay, hello, Judy Kim. Yes.
Hey, Judge, how you doing?
Fine, thank you.
Judge, my client's 35 years old. She's lived in Georgia for the past 7 years. She lives with her mother and her sisters. She is a college graduate. She also has a master's degree. Speaking with her prior to her turning herself involuntarily, she said she didn't do this. And I guess the adopted brother has some issues with her. I think we're going to try to figure out, so I've got a forensic specialist, maybe we're going to engage to see if this is in fact her. She tells me she didn't do it. I tend to believe her based on her educational background and just speaking with her. So I guess we will find out down the road, but we would ask if you would consider a UJR maybe. I don't know. She does have to report to pretrial services if that could be on the phone. But she has she's not going to contact him. So we are absolutely okay with a no contact order with the named victim.
All right. Ms. Tucker, would you agree that the social media forensic is not conclusive?
Yes. So at this time, I don't know how much they've done of that.
They've got a phone number registered to Sadira Fauntleroy. A phone number. That's pretty much from what I gathered. I just want to be sure.
Well, yes, typically those phone numbers are attached to the social media websites.
That's just according to the warrant. This is not fact. I'm just saying this is what. All right. Ms. Kim, on the harassing communications, your client's bond is going to be $3,500. I'm going to allow a 10% option. If she exercises the 10% option, she will report to pretrial services for a duration of 12 months, level 1. She is not to contact Mr. Stephen Wilson and or any of his immediate family members in any way, form, or manner, which includes in-person, mail, email, phones, computer devices, as well as on social media. So if there's any discussion that even closely or remotely refers to them, she could jeopardize her bond. The next court date will be sent to her current address. Thank you.
Level 1, how is the reporting on level 1?
It can be done virtually.
Virtually? Okay, great.
Yeah.
Thank you, Judge. May I be excused?
Yes.
Thank you.
Your
Have a
Honor,
great day.
repeat that bond amount again?
It's $3,500 surety bond with a 10% option. If she exercises the 10% option, then
Okay,
it will be through pretrial level 1.
thank you.
And no contact with the Wilsons and their immediate family. Oh, by the way, Ms. Kim, this case is further noticed to June 2nd, unless she bonds out on either program.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
You too. Thank you.
Position number 19.
Ashley Hurd is accused of simple. Which one's Ashley Hurd? Okay. ACDC? Is that correct? Ms. Renford?
Yes.
ACDC? Okay. Ashley Hurd is accused of simple battery, case 26 CR 3235F. Ms. Hurd, you've been advised of your rights. Ms. Harvey, any priors?
13 cycles out of California. The last arrest was July 13th, 2022, out of California for assault with a weapon, not a firearm, and occupying a property without consent. There was no disposition for this case. Recommendation from pretrial is a level 1. Nothing further.
Ms. Tucker?
Yes, Judge, we're asking for a $3,000 good bond in this case with no further contact with Jakara Bailey and to stay away from 901 MLK Drive in Atlanta. This facts allege an ex-employee, the defendant, came to the victim's place of work, started cursing at her in front of a customer, spit on her face, so large it rolled down her shirt. We were able to speak with Miss Bailey. She confirmed the events in the warrant and said she doesn't really even know this defendant. The defendant quit the job when she got hired, so she did not know why this defendant came in making accusations about her sleeping with her man. The victim is married, so she thinks there could be potential MH issues. She said even after this event, she came back to the job. And the victim does not wants her to have a very high cash bond. We're just asking for that $3,000 good bond, no further contact, and to stay away. And the victim did let us know she would be on the Zoom if we could sound for Miss Bailey now.
Jakara Bailey, I think it's Jakara Bailey. If you want to chime in now. Ms. Renford?
Yes, Your Honor. Miss Hurd is 38 years of age. She is originally from California, but she's been in Georgia for 2 years consistently. She has been going back and forth from California and Georgia, though, for over 16 years because her child is 16 years old and was born here in Atlanta. She's a hairstylist currently, and she did graduate high school in California. She has no other family members other than her child, Your Honor, here in Georgia, so she doesn't have anyone to bond her out. So she's requesting for a signature bond, Your Honor. So I'd be asking for a signature bond on her behalf so that she'll be able to get released, Your Honor.
Bond is set at $2,000. It is a surety bond. No further contact with the victim. Stay away from the incident location. The next court date is going to be June 2nd. I understand that she's got a pending felony matter as well, and that's, well, it's a significant bond. So we'll see you on June 2nd. Thank you.
Position number 23.
Yvette Johnson's accused of simple battery family violence, 26 CR 3236D. Ms. Johnson has any priors?
No, Your Honor. First arrest. Recommendation is UJR.
Okay. Mr. Soroka?
Yes, Your Honor, this was the April 19th incident from this year, 540 Pomona Circle in Atlanta. They made contact with the defendant and her husband, the victim, Mr. Andrea Johnson, and they were able to speak with both. There was a verbal altercation wherein she had struck him and he had pushed her. Subsequently, there was a witness, Mr. Gregory Spratling, who stated he saw Mrs. Johnson slap Mr. Johnson before he pushed her. The state's recommendation is going to be a signature bond through pretrial services. However, we would recommend FIB as well as no further contact with Mr. Andrea Johnson, whom we haven't been able to reach yet, as well as a stay away from 540 Pomona Circle in Atlanta, and no drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond. If we could sound for Mr. Johnson, Your Honor.
Andrea Johnson. If you're on Zoom and you want to chime in, this is the time to do so. Mr. Murphy?
Judge, my client is age 62. There's no priors. This alleged incident location of 540 Pomona Circle, Southwest in Atlanta, is a house that she owns with her husband. I don't think FFIP is necessary. I think the facts would bear out that there was a social event. There had been alcohol involved, and there was a disagreement between my client and her husband. They've been married many years, 36 to be exact. So there's always going to be a rough patch here or there. But again, given lack of history and what brought this about. I would just ask for a signature bond and no further violent contact.
Thank you. Bond is set at 3,000, a signature bond for pretrial services level 2. She will complete 6 anger awareness classes. She's not to consume any illegal drugs, no alcohol, and not allowed to have any firearms on her person or in her home. I'm going to allow for no further violent contact with Andrea Johnson. And she'll be subject to random screens. Thank you.
Appreciate the grace of the court, Judge. Thank you. Ms. Johnson, I'll be in touch to your family.
Position number 36.
Jemiah Ramsey is accused of battery, family violence, and simple assault, family violence. Case 26 CR 32411. Ms. Harvey?
2 cycles. Last arrest was in 2010 for possession of marijuana out of Fayette County, and that case was dismissed. Recommendation is a UJR through the jail. Nothing further.
Sorry, possession of what?
Marijuana.
Marijuana.
Yes, Your Honor. Dismissed.
Thank you. Mr. Scaraco?
Yes, Your Honor. This was the May 15th incident, 2697 Piney Wood Drive in Atlanta. There were several parties in the home there. The defendant and her husband, Mr. Darian Ramsey, and there was an argument that escalated into a physical altercation. Wherein the defendant admitted and the victim had stated that she had swung a hairdryer at him. She had began to attack him with a closed fist, hitting him in the head and upper body area as related to police. And there were allegations in the averse of him choking her. They didn't see any visible bodily harm there. And originally, the mother of the defendant who was there stated she did not see anything. Comes back around and says, I saw her pick up a blow dryer and swing it in the area of the victim, and then that he proceeded to then choke her, and that he had pushed her. We have spoken with Mr. Ramsey. He and the defendant have been married for 9 years. They share no children. He confirmed the events in the warrant, confirmed the blow dryer never hit him, and he stated that she raised it, but it never did hit him. And she struck him roughly 4 times before he stopped her. There were, they've been trying to have children recently, and there were some difficult, unsettling news with respect to IVF treatments. And there's a lot of tension in the household with that, and the mother also being there, as well as her sister coming back to Atlanta. So he stated she's been dealing with a lot, and this was. She had, excuse me, I forgot to mention, she had bit him during this altercation. He states that the bite didn't graze him that hard, even though officers did observe the bite mark. And he states nothing like this has happened before. It's just not her. He does want her to return home. There is some concerning stuff going on here in the household, but it also sounds like some hardship. The state is going to recommend a signature bond through pretrial services with 3 days anger awareness and no further violent contact with Mr.
Ramsey, Roderick.
Mr. Ramsey, I was just looking for his first name, Roderick, Your Honor. And no drugs, weapons, or alcohol. If we could sound for Mr. Ramsey.
Roderick Ramsey, if you want to chime in, this is the time to do so.
Yeah, as I mentioned, this is not a typical behavior from Jamia. And I apologize, putting her through so much. I lost my job and stuff. I don't even want to see her doing that if I have to leave. Hey, Jamia, just be yourself, have fun. Sorry.
Thank you. I don't know who that was, but Ms. Ranford, anything to add?
No, Your Honor, I won't be objecting to the signature bond.
Okay. On the battery family violence, that's going to be 2,500. Simple assault is 1,000. This is a 3,500 signature bond through pretrial services, level 1. No further violent contact with Roderick Ramsey. She may return to the location at Pinewood Drive, and she will complete 12 anger awareness classes. So this will be a 12-month duration for pretrial, where she will complete 12 classes at a minimum rate of 1 class a month. No illegal drugs are to be consumed, no alcoholic beverages, and no weapons and no firearms, including handguns. And she will be subject to random screens for drugs and alcohol every month. Thank you.
All right, next case, position 34.
Billy Pollard is accused of battery, family violence, 2 counts of discharge, case 26 CR 3257 L. Any clients?
24 cycles. Last arrest was in 2016 out of Douglas County for a probation violation. There's a 2017 conviction for possession of cocaine, willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer, and hit and run. 2014 theft by shoplifting. Also 2014 possession of marijuana and theft by shoplifting. 08 DUI and 2003 aggravated assault. Recommendation is a level 3, Your Honor. Nothing further.
Mr. Scott?
Yes, Your Honor. This was the May 19th incident, 925 Conley Road, domestic dispute with the defendant. And the victim is Trinity Pollard. It's the defendant's 18-year-old daughter. It occurred over disrespect, allegedly here. And the defendant had struck Miss Trinity Pollard in the face, resulting in a swollen eye and scratch marks that officers observed. This is not Miss Kisa Coleman. She walked in on both the parties fighting and separated the two. And she had stated this was not the first time she's had to break up a physical altercation between the two parties. They were trying to obtain cell footage of this. I don't believe they were able to. But in any case, the defendant was determined to be the predominant aggressor given the injuries observed on the victim's face here, Your Honor. We haven't been able to speak with Miss Trinity Pollard yet. We would ask the court sound for her when appropriate. The state's recommendation on account of the mention of prior violence and the previous fights that have had to have been broken up is going to be $3,000 total surety, $1,500 on each battery family violence charge. And out of an abundance of caution, we are going to be asking for no further contact at this point with the victim and stay away from 925 Conley Road in Atlanta. No drugs, weapons, or alcohol, and we would recommend 3 anger awareness classes, Judge.
Trinity Pollard, if you're on Zoom, this is the time to unmute and start your video. Okay.
Judge,
Mr. Murphy, yes, sir.
Judge, my client's age 46. The incident location, that is an apartment that my client rents. The alleged victim is 18 years old, which is my client's daughter. There's been a torrid relationship from time to time, but we acknowledge that. My client contends that her daughter has perhaps some MH issues to be addressed. My client has resided at that address for over 6 months. She has a good job with AutoZone. She's a delivery driver. She's been there quite some time now, so she is vested in the community. I realize, Judge, that this is a very close call, but I'd ask for a signature bond given the circumstances. She makes just enough money to cover her rent and her living expenses. She has really no surplus. And I realize it's a close call, but again, Judge, we would certainly stipulate to some anger awareness courses therein, but I'd ask the court to consider a signature bond under these circumstances.
On each count is going to be $2,500. That's going to be a $5,000 signature bond through pretrial services, level 3. She will report to pretrial services once a week for a 12-month duration. She will enroll in a domestic violence intervention program, and this is a 24-week program where she will need to enroll and complete all 24 weeks of classes within this 12-month duration of reporting to pretrial. No violent contact with what's her name? Trinity Pollitt. And if there is any future physical or verbal altercations where the police get involved, Miss Billy Pollitt will be back in jail on either a no bond status or a $5,000 cash bond. No illegal drugs, no alcohol, and no weapons. Thank you.
You good. All right, add-on number 2, Hudson.
Asia Hudson is accused of simple battery family violence, 26 CR 3269B. Any prize?
2 cycles. Last arrest was December 3rd, 2018 with Albany State College Police for simple battery. That case was dismissed, Your Honor. Recommendations of UJR through the jail. Nothing further.
Ms. Tucker?
Yes, Judge, we're asking for a $1,500 good bond with conditions no further contact with Bruce Lee and to stay away from 148 Tarver Terrace in South Fulton. The victim was taking a bunch of items from the home, told the children to go get in the car. As the victim was trying to pull the TV off the wall, the defendant pushed it back, making the victim drop their 5-month-old baby. The victim was then in the laundry room. The defendant asked her to give her phone back and threw bleach on his face, threw baby formula and Gatorade on him as well. So for those reasons, we're asking for a $1,500 good, no further contact, and to stay away. We were unable to get in contact with Mr. Lee, if we could sound for him just in case.
Bruce Lee, if you're on Zoom, this is the time to unmute and start your video. No sounds from current and beyond. So, Mr. Murphy?
Yes, Judge. My client is age 27. Judge, she's been in custody for approximately a day. My client is a homemaker. She does have a college degree, but she is a homemaker. She manages 6 children, the youngest being 4 months, the oldest being 5 years old. The alleged incident location of 110 Tarver Terrace is actually the home of her grandfather. And that is his home, not the alleged victim, Mr. Lee's home. My client has no other resources. She is on, without going into too much detail, she does get some public assistance. So she has really no resources whatsoever, Judge. I'd ask the court to consider a signature bond. Again, she has lived here her entire life. She has college education, and she does have a stable home to stay at. And again, that's owned by her grandfather. So there's no them having to commiserate with each other, my client and the alleged victim.
But Mr. Lee was vacating the premises, wasn't he?
There was some disputes as it was in question, and he has not always been a saint with dealing with her. So this was just a torrid situation.
Okay. Ms. Hudson, what is most concerning is the nature of this altercation, which is quite disturbing. You could have easily elevated it to a felony matter. Your bond is going to be set at $1,500. It is a surety bond. I'm going to allow a 10% option. No further contact with Bruce Lee. You may return to the Tarver place if it is verified that Mr. Lee does not live there anymore. So you can go there with a police officer on the first visit, and if Mr. Lee has vacated the premises, you may return to the home. Otherwise, you can use that one-time visit to retrieve your belongings and your children, and you will need to update us with your new address. Your next court date is going to be June 2nd.
All right. Next case is on add-on 1, Collins.
Pasha Collins is accused of 2 counts of battery family violence, 26 CR 3268E. Any priors?
Yes, Your Honor. Last arrest was December 19th, 2024, out of DeKalb County for a failure to appear. Appears to be on probation out of DeKalb for criminal damage to property in the second degree, sentenced January 6, 2025. There's a 2024 driving while license suspended NOLO and a 2025 battery family violence conviction out of DeKalb County. Recommendation from pretrial is a level 3 and nothing further.
Ms. Tucker?
Yes, Judge, you did hear that previous battery family violence conviction out of DeKalb from just last year. We are attempting to have this case transferred up, but we didn't hear back from the DA in time today. We're asking for a $2,500 cash bond on each charge for a total of $5,000, or if you're not inclined to do a cash-only bond, no less than $5,000 good on each count for a $10,000 good bond. With conditions no further contact and a stay away. In addition to this being a felony by statute, these facts are also very close, if not felonious in nature. The victim was in the driver's seat. Oh, the victim is Corey Scott. We are asking for no further contact with Corey Scott and a stay away from 2692 Connolly Drive in East Point. The victim was in the driver's seat and the defendant was in the passenger seat of victim's car when they arrived at this location. The defendant got irritated with the victim, started striking him in the face, then wrapped the driver's side seatbelt around his neck and started choking him for an extended period of time. As she was choking him, she bit him on the face, leaving 2 abrasions on his cheek. She also damaged the gear shift in the car as they were fighting over the middle console, causing it to be stuck in neutral, so the victim was unable to put his car in park to turn off the engine. So the damage done to the car, I mean, this was a $21,000 car, so I believe that could rise to the level of felony. So ultimately, we do intend to transfer this case. But while it's here, Judge, we are asking for a $2,500 cash bond on each of these charges. If not inclined to do cash, no less than $5,000 on each, with no further contact with Corey Scott and stay away from this Connolly Drive address.
Mr. Murphy?
My client is age 28. The alleged victim, Mr. Scott, was a former boyfriend, and he's been trying to put my client under surveillance. There was a dispute. My client asserts that she's never been acted in any aggressive manner towards Mr. Scott, that he's always initiated whatever difficulties that transpired. And in terms of a damage to a vehicle, that's absolute dubious. Who knows the extent of that vehicle? My client does live in the Union City area, not at the alleged incident location. She's employed as a landscaper with her uncle. She's been employed for many years. So she does have a job and she has a stable location in the Union City area. I'd ask for a reasonable bond therein so she has a fair shot of being released and consult with counsel.
Count 1 is going to be $2,500. Count 2 is going to be $1,000. This is the $3,500 surety bond. No further contact with Corey Scott. And if Mr. Scott lives at Connolly Drive in East Point, then she's to stay away from that address. Oh, hang on. That was the location where the altercation took place. Is that the home as well? I couldn't tell from the warrant.
That's not a house of hers. She'll be fine staying away from there. That's
okay. So stay away from the 2692 Connolly Drive in East Point, Georgia. No illegal drugs, no alcohol, no weapons. Next court date is going to be June 2nd.
Thank you, Judge. Ms. Collins, I'll be in touch with your family.
Thank you.
All right, next case is position 22.
I saw Ms. Lucia up here. Is this one of the cases that requires Spanish interpreter?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Lucia, are you available at the present time? Ms.
Yes,
Lucia?
Your Honor.
That's good, thank
Give
you.
me just 1 second.
No problem. All right,
Yes, Your Honor. Good afternoon. Could you tell me what position this is, please? I couldn't hear that right.
22.
Okay. Ready whenever you are, Your Honor.
Please, do you solemnly swear and affirm the translation you provide will be true and accurate?
I do.
Thank you. This is State versus Vicente Jimenez Lopez, accused of simple battery, family violence.
Este va a ser el caso del Estado en contra del señor Vicente Jiménez López. La acusación es agresión simple, violencia doméstica.
He has a right, his case number is 26 CR 3232L.
El número de su caso es el 26CR003232L.
You have a right to remain silent. Anything you say in open court, your statements can and will be used against you. You have a right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to represent you.
Usted tiene el derecho de permanecer en silencio. Cualquier cosa que usted diga puede ser y será usada en contra suya. También tiene el derecho a tener un abogado y si no puede costear un abogado defensor público se le ha sido asignado para esta audiencia.
Any priors, Ms. Harvey?
One cycle out of Georgia and 1 cycle with ICE.
La juez pregunta si tiene usted algún antecedente. Le informan que tiene un ciclo en el estado de Georgia y uno con el Departamento de Inmigración de ICE.
Last arrest was February 8th, 2026 with the Alpharetta Police Department for simple battery, family violence. No disposition was listed. Recommendation is a level 2 and nothing further.
Le indican que su último arresto fue el 8 de febrero del 2026 por la policía de Alpharetta por violencia doméstica. No existe un récord de cómo se solucionó o cómo terminó ese caso y la sugerencia de ellos es nivel número 2.
Yes, Your Honor. This incident took place May 17th of this year at 756 Mimosa Boulevard in Roswell, which is an apartment complex. Officers responded to a physical domestic incident there.
Le pregunta al fiscal que le diga sobre este caso, quien le indica que el 17 de mayo del 2026, agentes de la policía llegaron al 756 Mimosa Boulevard en Roswell y que hubieron quejas de agresión.
They spoke with both the defendant and the victim, Miss Nora Gonzalez, with whom the defendant lives. She also leases the apartment to him, the same apartment. And there was an altercation wherein she kicked him out of the apartment. He relayed to police.
La policía habló tanto con el acusado como con la víctima, la señora Nora González, quien indicó que viven ahí, que ella le renta el apartamento a él, que tuvo un altercado donde ella le mandó sacando y usted entonces llamó a la policía.
They made contact with Miss Gonzalez, who explained that the defendant had been drinking all day and had been extremely disrespectful, had been playing loud music, and when she confronted him, he became verbally aggressive toward her and stated he did not have to listen to her because she was a woman.
Entonces, la policía habló con la señora González, quien indicó que el acusado estuvo bebiendo toda la tarde, estuvo tocando música alta y ella fue a decirle que no hiciera eso y le indicó. Hubo un altercado verbal, ella indica que él fue agresivo verbalmente y le dijo que no tenía que hacerle caso porque era una mujer.
And he at that point then proceeded to push her with both of his hands before going back to his room, This was witnessed and confirmed by a Mr. Juan Plancarte, who saw the entire incident and corroborated the same.
Después, el acusado la empujó con ambas manos antes de irse a su cuarto. Esto fue corroborado y también testigo fue un señor Juan Plancarte, quien indicó lo mismo a la policía.
There was also another witness who had heard him yelling but didn't see the incident, Miss Sanchez. But, Your Honor, we did speak with the victim here, Miss Gonzalez. She says she is, thankfully, we're glad to hear that she's not the victim in that presumably open Alpharetta case from just this February. She doesn't mind the defendant getting out of jail, she states, but doesn't want him coming back to her home at all. She says he wants to change. He says he wants to change, but he never does. If we could sound for her when appropriate, Judge.
Nancy Gonzalez, if you're
En lo que él indica que hubo también otro testigo, una persona que no vio, nada más escuchó el altercado, una señora Sánchez. Nosotros, la fiscalía, habló con la víctima, con la señora González, y se dieron cuenta que ella no fue, gracias a Dios, la víctima también en el altercado de Alpharetta en febrero, pero ella indicó que no quería que usted regresara y que, porque siempre ha dicho que va a cambiar y no cambia. Entonces piden a ver si es que se encuentra la víctima aquí. And Your Honor, I'm going to sound off for Ms. Gonzalez.
Yes, Nancy Gonzalez.
Bueno, damas y caballeros, si la señora Nancy Honora González se encuentra en la llamada de Zoom, la señora González, si se encuentra en la llamada de Zoom, por favor, abra su cámara y su micrófono y déjenos saber.
Yeah, I don't see her, Judge. The state's recommendation on this case with the other open case and with this seeming to be a persistent issue in that household is a $2,500 surety. We are recommending 3 days, anger awareness, no further contact with Miss Nora Hernandez Gonzalez. Stay away from the apartment complex, 756 Mimosa Boulevard in Roswell. No drugs, weapons, or alcohol, and we would recommend random screens for drugs and alcohol as well, Judge.
Ms. Lucia.
La recomendación de la fiscalía, ya que existe ese otro caso abierto y no es la primera vez, es un bono de fianza asegurado de $2,500. Una orden judicial a que tome un curso de manejo de la ira de 3 días. Una orden de permanecer lejos de la señora Nora Hernández González y de estar lejos de la propiedad en el 756 Mimosa Boulevard en Roswell y no regresar a ese apartamento. Una orden de no drogas, alcohol o ningún tipo de arma y también chequeos esporádicos y sin anuncio de drogas, alcohol.
Miss, is it Miss Renford or is it Mr. Murphy? Who's his counsel? Oh, Miss Kim, sorry.
Yes, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
Your Honor, my client, Mr. Jimenez Lopez, is 36 years old. He came from Guatemala about 9 years ago.
Su abogada defensora, la señora Kim, indica que el cliente de ella tiene 36 años de edad, vino de Guatemala hace 9 años.
And the alleged victim and my client, even though they live together, they are not romantically involved. They are not girlfriend and boyfriend.
Que la víctima alegada, aunque viven bajo el mismo techo, no están envueltos de forma romántica.
My client has one son who is 15 years old here in the U.S., and he has 2 more children at Guatemala.
Mi cliente tiene un hijo aquí en los Estados Unidos de 15 años de edad y tiene 2 otros hijos en Guatemala.
He makes, he's working really hard, gainfully employed for yard maintenance, and he's not qualified for public defender services.
Él trabaja en lo que es la yarda y no califica para defensor público para el resto del proceso.
He will have to hire a private attorney. For the bond purposes, I will be representing. He does not have any phone number outside of the jail who he can pay for the bond.
Su abogada le va a representar el día de hoy únicamente. Una vez que salga, necesita ver un abogado particular, criminal, y también su abogada indica que no tiene usted acceso a un número telefónico de nadie que venga a poner la fianza.
So we asked for signature on bond, pretrial level 2, and no contact is totally fine with him.
Entonces lo que ella pide es que la jueza le dé una fianza únicamente con su firma, indicando que va a regresar a las citas de la corte, y está usted de acuerdo con no tener ningún contacto con la víctima.
Bond is set at $1,500. It is a surety bond. No further contact with Nancy Gonzalez, and he's not to return to the 756 Mimosa Boulevard location in Roswell, Georgia. No illegal drugs, no alcohol, no weapons.
El fallo de la juez es un bono asegurado de $1,500, una orden judicial de ningún contacto directo con la señora Nora Nancy Hernández González, el no regresar al 756 Mimosa Boulevard en Roswell, y no drogas, alcohol o ningún tipo de arma.
He's allowed a one-time visit to the location with a police officer to retrieve his belongings. And then within 30 days, he must update the court with his new address.
Tiene permiso para regresar en solamente una ocasión a la dirección de Mimosa Boulevard con una escolta policíaca, con un policía, para sacar sus pertenencias. Y luego tiene 30 días a partir del día de hoy para llamar a la corte e indicar cuál es su dirección nueva.
Next court date is June 2nd.
Su siguiente fecha de corte en la que tiene que aparecer es el 2 de junio.
Thank you.
Muchas gracias. Es todo. And Your Honor, if that is all for me, may I please be excused?
You have a rather heavy calendar. Let me see. Courtroom 2. Is there anyone else that requires the services of a Spanish interpreter? Ms. Lucia, if you want to make that announcement, maybe somebody on.
Will do, Your Honor. Damas y caballeros, quien esté en la cárcel, en la audiencia, en este momento y necesite un intérprete en español, por favor, párese. Párese si necesita un intérprete en español.
I think we're good. We're good.
Okay, Your Honor. All right, Your Honor. You have a good afternoon.
You too. Thank you. ACDC, who do we have?
Position number 40.
All right, for, I don't know if she was here when the rights were being read, but.
Yes,
ma'am,
they were here.
Okay. To position 40.
Ms. White?
This is Jessica Spencer,
Okay. Oh, okay.
accused of simple battery family violence, case number 26 CR 003228B. Ms. Spencer, you've been advised of your rights. Your attorney is going to be Ms. Renford. Any priors?
Oh, and before we get into that, I did send a consent bond on this. I'm not sure if that was accepted or not here, Judge, but I can.
Hold, please. Ms. Renford?
I am receipt of, and I do have that.
Yes, Your Honor. I received it after I had interviewed my client, so I was not able to relay the terms to her, but I would not be objecting to a signature bond.
All right,
My
Mr.
client.
Saraco, what are the terms?
Yes, Your Honor. For the simple battery family violence.
Just 1 second. Just 1 second. These folks don't know how to behave. Mr. Lindsay?
Yes, how you doing?
I'm going to put you in the waiting room and then I'll bring you out when you're ready. Please
All
place
right.
waiting room.
All right.
All right, Mr. Scirocco, what are the terms of the bond?
$2,500 signature bond through pretrial services level 1 judge. Have no further violent contact with Marshall Lindsay. Have no drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond, and have no further violations of the law. We did speak with the victim right there, Mr. Lindsay, and things have been good between them for the past few years. They co-parents, but they don't live together anymore. And the defendant has her own apartment.
Miss Lindsay, if ACDC could unmute.
Yes, I'm unmuted.
For the host, please place Marshall Lindsay in the Zoom, in the breakout, in the waiting room, please. Place him in the waiting room. Thank you. Miss Jessica Spencer, do you agree to these terms?
Yes.
You understand that it will be a signature bond. You report to pretrial services once a month. You are to have no contact with Marshall Lindsay, which means you stay 200 yards away from him and do not communicate with him in any way, form, or manner. Is that acceptable?
Yes.
At all times, you're not to consume any illegal drugs, no alcoholic beverages, and not to own or possess any firearms.
Yes.
Okay.
Excuse me, Your Honor. According to the consent that I have, is no further violent contact.
Mr.
I believe that's what I said. If I misspoke, then my apologies. No further violent contact
No
was.
further violent contact.
Yeah.
Okay. No further contact. So
Okay,
let
thank
me amend the contact. Ms. Spencer, I misheard. It was no further violent contact, which means then you can communicate with Mr. Lindsay, but there cannot be any future physical or verbal altercations that would get the police involved. Is that acceptable?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Renford, you good?
Yes, Your Honor. I was just gonna chime in about the no further violent contact, but I see it's resolved.
I misheard, sorry. Let's go ahead and bring Mr. Lindsay in. Marshall Lindsay? All right, Mr. Lindsay, Ms. Spencer has received a 2,500 signature bond through pretrial services. She's required to have no further violent contact with you, and she should be released within 24 hours. Thank you.
All right.
Next case, please.
Position 42, Ms. Vicks.
Sarkaja Shatiana Vick is accused of simple battery, case 26 CR 3226J. Any priors?
Yes, Your Honor. 3 out of Georgia and 14 out of Tennessee. Last arrest was December 12th, 2025, out of Tennessee for theft of property. There was no disposition listed. That appears to be an open case. There's a 2023 assault conviction, 2023 driving while license suspended, 2020 possession of controlled substance, 2017 assault, and 2015 theft of property. And FTAs from 2019 and 2020. Recommendation from pretrial is a level 3 and nothing further.
Mr. Scirocco?
Yes, Your Honor. This one was a May 18th incident, so this was just 2 days ago at 2451 Old National Parkway, the Days Inn in College Park. They made contact, officers did, with both the defendant and the victim here. It was essentially the defendant had said she ordered food the previous day and that it was stolen. She was demanding to see the cameras, the video from the cameras, and they told her they don't have that video at the moment. The security guard that when she was directed to and spoke with Mr. Calvin Wheelock. He's the victim in this case. He said, I can't provide you the camera footage. She became upset, started recording him, and he started recording her. She then walked up to him and pushed the phone out of his hand and slapped him 3 times in the face. that was captured on the victim's cell footage there. And he did want to press charges. With the defendant's history, I should mention that assault conviction from 23 out of Tennessee was pled down from an aggravated assault, interestingly enough. And it seems like most of her history, as you have heard, Your Honor, most of her convictions, most of her arrests are out of Tennessee. So we are concerned about her staying within the jurisdiction here. And I did see, apologies if I'm wrong, but I want to add 2020, 2019, 2015, two from 2015 FTAs. So we would contend there's a flight risk here as well as a risk of failing to appear. And with conviction for violence as recent as 2023, we are going to be recommending a $2,500 surety bond here with 3 days anger awareness, no further contact with Mr. Calvin Wheelock. Stay away from 2451 Old National Parkway in College Park. That is the Days Inn. And no drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond. If we could sound for Mr. Wheelock at this time, Your Honor.
Calvin Wheelock, if you want to chime in, this is the time to unmute and start your video. Ms. Renfrew?
Yes, Your Honor. Miss Vick is 32 years old. She is from Tennessee, Your Honor. She mentioned to me that she was only here visiting some friends. And so it's, from what I'm understanding, it's not necessarily that she will be a flight risk, but she is from Tennessee. And so I have relayed to her that this is an open case and that she will need to return to Georgia for court for this case, Your Honor. She is currently unemployed. She lives with her mom in Tennessee, Your Honor. She does have 2 children, and they are awaiting her return in Tennessee. She graduated from high school in Tennessee, attended some college at Chattanooga State in Tennessee, Your Honor. And I'd be asking for a signature bond for her. If a signature bond is not applicable for her, I'd be asking for the lowest reasonable amount to not exceed $1,000 surety bond for her, due to the fact that she was only visiting and she doesn't even know she's going to be able to get her stuff from the hotel that she was staying at, because obviously her checkout time has passed now and she's concerned about her belongings and her vehicle that was left there on the incident day, Your Honor.
$1,500 surety bond, no further contact with Calvin Wheelock, no violent contact with the staff at the Days Inn in College Park. She's allowed a one-time visit to this location to retrieve her belongings. She cannot enter any of the guest rooms. She can only go to the lobby and ask for her belongings to be brought down. Then she has to retrieve her car. That one-time visit must be with a police officer and it cannot exceed 1 hour. After that visit, she's to stay away from that location. The next court date is June 2nd.
Next is position 43, Ms. White.
Ms. Sheila Nicole White is accused of battery, family violence from this month, case 26 CR 3267D. Any priors, Ms. Harvey?
She has no prior arrest. However, there appears to be an FTA warrant out of College Park, Georgia for disorderly conduct. Recommendation is a level 2 and nothing further.
Mr. Scrabble?
Yes, Judge. And this was not just this month, this was yesterday, 4900 Delano Road in South Fulton, the apartment complex there. They made contact, officers did, with Demetrius Farrell, the victim here, and the defendant's boyfriend of 3 years. They've been living together for the past 4 months at that point, as of yesterday, and the defendant, he reported, had attacked him. The defendant actually stated she observed Mr. Farrell inside the apartment and that he had returned to the apartment they share and they become engaged in a verbal argument, at which point the defendant, Mr. Farrell, requested the tablet and she threw that tablet at his face because she had, quote, she had believed, quote, that he had been up to no good. So she did admit to throwing this object at him. They also spoke with the victim, of course, and he explained he'd been locked out of the apartment by the defendant. And after that, he went to his cousin's apartment across the hall, and the defendant showed up there, angry, attacked him outside that unit. That prompted him to return to their shared residence to try and calm her down. And once it got there, it didn't. She remained very upset and threw an iPad at him. At that point, he had visible bruising and a laceration to his face from this. We have not been able to speak with Mr. Farrell as of yet, Judge. We are concerned, especially with this having taken place just yesterday. As far as a cool down period is concerned, there hasn't been one. We are recommending a signature bond through pretrial services level 2 with FFIB. No further contact with Demetrius Farrell. Stay away from that apartment complex, 4900 Delano Road in South Fulton. And no drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond.
Judge.
Mr. Farrell, Mr. Murphy, I was just going to call up for Mr. Farrell to see if he was present, but I guess not. Go ahead, Mr. Murphy.
Judge, we have no objection to the signature bond. My client, high school graduate, she grew up in this area, and she is gainfully employed for a major corporation for the past 5 years. Judge, the alleged incident location is 4900 Delano Road. My client actually resides there with her mother in an apartment in the B building. I don't want to really give up, but my client asserts that she resides at that apartment complex with her mother. Perhaps they had an apartment together, but my client says that she would certainly stay away from Mr. Farrell, and she has a place to go. And again, she asserts that at that apartment complex, she resides with her mom or will reside with her mother.
So she's willing to leave that entire complex?
Well, it sounds like the mother's apartment is in that complex.
So what you're saying is she's going to just stay in her mother's complex while he lives in a different building. I don't know if that's what you're trying to tell me.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. Remember, last week we had a case where they were in the different floors in the same building, but I believe it's different buildings.
All right. You do know that she's got a College Park hold, although it's for I don't know whether it's for an ordinance violation for disorderly conduct, but is that what it is?
Judge, she did convey to me that there was some hold in there and so at least this way, this case won't hold her up, and so she's aware that she'll have to go to address her hold.
Okay. Bond is going to be set at $3,500. It's going to be a signature bond through pretrial services level 2. She's to have no further contact with Mr. Farrell, Demetrius Farrell. So while she lives in the apartment complex, if Mr. Farrell is outside, out and about, walking around the complex, she needs to stay inside. She has to stay at least 20 yards away from him. But once she's outside the complex in public, she needs to stay 200 yards away from him. In either event, she's not to communicate with him in person, through mail, email, phones, computers, and even on social media, or even through a third party. She will report to pretrial services twice a month, and this will be for a 12-month duration. She will enroll and complete a domestic violence intervention program. She will start those classes within 30 days of being released and complete all 24 weeks of classes at her expense. No illegal drugs, no alcohol, no weapons, and her next court date will be sent to her mother's place, as long as she makes sure the address is current. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. Appreciate the grace of the court. Ms. White, I'll be in touch with your siblings.
Courtroom 2, who do we have, please?
Judge, I'll repeat that last bond. You said 3,500?
3,500 signature bonds for pretrial level 2, 12-month duration with DV FFIP requirements.
All right, on position 44.
This is Reginald Williams, accused of 1 count of simple battery family violence, 1 count of simple assault family violence, and 1 count of simple assault. His case number is going to be 26 CR 3239E. Any priors?
18 cycles. Last arrest was March 1st, 2023 out of East Point, Georgia for driving while license suspended or revoked. There's a probation violation hold out of Forsyth, Georgia, and an FTA hold out of East Point, Georgia. There's a 2023 DUI, 2013 sale of marijuana and sale of cocaine, 2010 possession of cocaine, and 07 purchase, possession, control of drugs. Recommendation from pretrial, Your Honor, is a level 2 and nothing further.
Thank you. Mr. Scaraco?
Yes, Your Honor. The incident here was 2 days ago, May 18th, 2026, 290 Cedarhurst Court in South Fulton is the address. Officers had responded to a call regarding an aunt of the caller and her aunt's boyfriend having been involved in a physical dispute, wherein the aunt had ultimately pulled a knife on her boyfriend as a result of that dispute. So clearly something serious, and the officer wasn't able to identify the male at the time, but the aunt's name, the first victim here, is Miss Ashina Williams. She had gone through the phone of the defendant here, her boyfriend, and observed the messages from an unknown female. She had confronted him over it, and he became aggressive at that point, and she feared he was going to strike her. She went to retrieve a knife for her protection, and during the incident, she was struck by the defendant. And excuse me, Miss Brianna Jones, who is the niece here of the first victim and the second victim as well. She is the second victim. She intervened, striking Mr. Williams in the face, trying to stop the altercation. She confirmed that she did observe Mr. Williams aggressively approaching Miss Williams and striking her in the body with a closed fist, and she struck him to separate the two. Also, following this, the defendant had proceeded to throw glass objects in their direction. They shattered on the ground. Thankfully, they didn't hit either victim here. And the defendant as much admitted, I believe, to throwing, he did, glass objects toward them due to him not wanting to physically make contact with them because he knew his strength. Judge, with the history here, I saw several convictions, the most recent of which was the 2023 DUI, but it appears there's history of substance abuse here. And his wanted status for failure to appear and the probation violation that's open out of Forsyth. We are going to be recommending a $4,000 surety here. We're recommending that breakdown being the $2,000 on the simple battery family violence and $1,000 on each simple assault charge. We did speak with, as well as AFib, no further contact with Ashina Williams, no further contact with Brianna Jones, no drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond. The two had been married for 15 years. When we spoke with Miss Ashina Williams, is what she relayed. They shared 4 children, 2 adults and 2 minors. No, they weren't present during the incident, but she confirmed the events in the warrant. She states nothing like this has happened before and that he's never been physically violent with her. And she is not in fear of him, wants him to return home. But we do have some serious concerns with this happening just 2 days ago. We don't believe there's been a sufficient cooling off period. There was alleged to be a knife involved, and not 1, but 2 victims here, Your Honor. The second of which we have not been able to reach, Miss Brianna Jones. But with the risk of failing to appear and our concern here for the safety of these victims, we're recommending that $4,000 surety with the AFib, the no further contacts. We would recommend the stay away as well, if I didn't say that. And no drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond. If we could sound for both victims, Judge.
Ashina Williams. Did you want to say something?
No, I really don't have anything to say.
That's fine. You can mute your screen, please. Thank you. Mr. Murphy?
Judge, that's correct that my client has been married 15 years. He's age 54. He is employed with Walmart's distribution center. He's been there 2 years. Judge, this alleged incident occurs with this Brianna Jones is actually the niece of my client and wife. Judge, my client contends that he's the one that received the injuries due to Miss Brianna Jones's intervention, so to speak, and that yes, this was a heated disagreement. There had been nothing of this sort between my client and his wife. And again, they do have children together, and that the incident location is 290 Cedar Hurst Court. That is a house that my client and his wife both leased together. I'd ask for a reasonable bond therein, and he'll certainly would agree to no further violent contact in any counts and classes therein until this case gets resolved. Again, given these circumstances, he does have a hold FTA, and he's got a probation hold out of Forsyth, and I'm certainly familiar how they seem to be doing the Lord's work up there, and that's going to probably keep my client pretty busy. So I'd ask for a very reasonable bond therein so he can at least be moved on to Forsyth.
Thank you. On the simple battery family violence is $1,500. Simple assault is $1,000, and the second count of simple assault is $500. This is a total $3,000 surety bond. No further contact with Brianna Jones. No further violent contact with Ashina Williams. Ms. Williams, did you want Mr. Williams to come back home?
Yes, that's fine.
Okay, well, you'll need to postpone. And does Brianna Jones live in the same house?
She removed herself.
Okay, so he can return to the Cedarhurst location. No illegal drugs, no alcohol, no weapons. And if he doesn't report to court or if he violates these conditions, then his $3,000 surety bond will be revoked. Presently, his next court date is going to be June 2nd, pending his 2 holds. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. We appreciate the grace of the court. Your Honor, that's all I have, if I may be excused.
Yes, Mr. Murphy, you have a good day. Thank you. Next case, please.
21, that's it.
I'm sorry, what position number is that?
21, Jackson.
21, okay.
And yes,
This is,
Judge,
Yes, Ms. Tucker?
I think Ms. Kim was about to say this is a consent bond.
yes,
Chris Jackson's accused of possession of tobacco by a minor and criminal trespass, 26 CR 3260D. What are the terms, Ms. Tucker?
Yes, Judge, it's going to be 500 signature bond through level 1 on count 1 and 500 signature bond level 1 on count 2 with a stay away from 72 Milton Ave in Atlanta. And he will be entering diversion to complete the Operation 21 course and pay the $250 fee. There's also to be no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond.
Ms. Kim, does your client accept these terms?
yes, Your Honor.
Is he wearing glasses?
Yes, I'm wearing glasses.
No, is he wearing glasses?
No, he's not wearing glasses. His hairs are long.
Oh, Lord, is that how long it is? Okay. Yeah, I'll accept the terms of the consent bond. What was that location, the 72 Milton Avenue, Ms. Tucker?
So it's a neighborhood. He was found in the neighborhood pool, but he does not live in that neighborhood and he wasn't visiting anybody.
Okay. So Mr. Jackson, I'll accept the terms of this consent bond. You report to pretrial once a month, and you will need to enroll in the diversion program within 30 days of being released. Make sure you pay the fee and you comply with the conditions. You are also to stay away from the entire subdivision at 72 Milton Avenue. And your next court date will be sent to your current, well, if you complete diversion, then you won't have to come to court. But if you don't, then we'll send you a court date to your current address. Thank you.
Thank
And
you, Your Honor.
Kim, make sure you get his email for me so we can get him signed up for, oh, you just sent it, I think.
He does not have an email address, so I'm gonna encourage him to make one.
Okay.
Yeah. As soon as I get it, I'll send it out to you.
Perfect, thanks.
Next case.
All right, Kim. I'll see you in that. 28. Luke. You start on, hey, excuse me. Excuse me. Go back where you send that. Or you can go Friday. Please don't. All right. We're gonna stay in this rotation. Okay, you're gonna stay in that rotation. Position 28.
Thank you. State v. Terrell Luke, accused of simple battery family violence. Case 26 CR 3247J. Any priors?
No, Your Honor. First arrest, recommendations to the jail, and nothing further.
Mr. Scarafa?
Yes, Your Honor. The incident here was just yesterday, 5902 Campbellton Road in South Fulton, apartment complex. Involved the defendant and the victim here, Miss Jessica Luke. She's the wife of the defendant. They live together at that location. And I believe they share a child together as well. She explained to police that she was trying to walk away from an argument where at that point the defendant jumped in front of her. Argument continued, and during that incident, the defendant headbutted her. So he headbutted her. Defendant later admitted to making contact, but claimed that the contact was unintentional, and that the victim would say that. The state's recommendation here is going to be a signature bond through pretrial services level 2. We would recommend FIB, or at the very least anger awareness here, Judge. No further contact with Jessica Luke. We have not been able to reach her yet, but seeing as that, out of an abundance of caution with this just happening yesterday, we are concerned for her. We would recommend to stay away as well from 5902 Campbellton Road. That is, again, that apartment complex in South Fulton. No drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond. And if we could please sound for Miss Luke.
Jessica Luke, if you're on Zoom, this is the time to chime in with your video and audio. Do you know how tall is Miss Jessica Luke?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Miss Luke, you'll need to start your video on. All right, lower your device so we can see you. You swear, how tall are you?
5'5".
Okay, that's all I needed to know. Thank you. Mute your screen, please. Yes, Miss Kim.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Luke, this is his first arrest ever, Your Honor. We would like to request for a pretrial level 1. We have no objection to signature on bond, and I don't think FBIB is as necessary at this point.
I understand. No, that's not going to be an FBIB. They recommended a signature bond, but
Sure.
a stay away and no contact.
We would like to ask if Miss Jessica Luke is afraid of him.
No, she's not. I'm going to impose a no contact.
Okay, no problem, Your Honor. No contact. All right. That's it, Your Honor. Thank you.
On the simple battery family violence, that's going to be a 2,500 signature bond for pretrial services. No contact with Jessica Luke, and he needs to stay away from the Campbellton Road location. He will have a one-time visit with a police officer to retrieve his belongings, and then he will update the court with his new address, which cannot be less than 200 yards away from the current address. No illegal drugs, no alcohol, no weapons, and I'll allow for a third-party transfer of their minor child. Thank you.
Your Honor, what level is this?
Level 1, excuse me.
Okay.
Oh, another thing is also he'll need to do 6 anger awareness classes with pretrial services.
Wow. Ever seen the blue chair in the back? Position 37.
Muhammad Ali Rana is accused of 2 counts of battery family violence. 2 counts of battery family violence, case 26 CR 3264L. Any priors?
One prior out of DeKalb County, July 28th, 2025 for battery. That does appear to be an open case. Recommendation is a level 2 and nothing further.
Mr. Scrapple?
Yes, Your Honor. This incident took place yesterday, May 19th at 8 Cedar Run in Sandy Springs, the apartment complex there. The victim's name is Miss Preti Saeed. She's married to the defendant, lives with him at the location. She had reported that the defendant had just stolen her car after an altercation. And when asked what stemmed from this, the defendant, it was the defendant trying to send his parents her money. She had reported there was animosity, and he had took her keys. She was demanding them back, and he had pushed her. She had pushed him back. They were pushing each other following the defendant's initial push, and he pushed her, causing her to fall down. She reported he grabbed and pushed her, but she fell and it hit the corner of the sofa as she was falling, came into contact with her right jaw. She blacked out, as she reported. And when she woke up, there was blood on the carpet that she then cleaned up. There was she took a picture as well, blood coming out of her mouth. She had dried blood that officers observed on her bottom lip. And the defendant, when they spoke with him, admitted to pushing her, claiming it was first because she grabbed him, then coming back and saying she was scratching him. And that he turned around and saw her on the ground and continued out the door, leaving his unconscious wife there. And the victim there had kept insisting that the defendant didn't intend his actions and kept telling the defendant what to say. And there was also, I believe, a point where he had stated that he left before he saw her. It was mid-fall, something like that. And it's notable the defendant is a substantial height and weight difference with the victim here. She's only 5'5", 120 as reported. He's roughly 6 feet. And officers had seen that he'd been arrested by Brookhaven police, and that was for battering the same victim here, Miss Saeed. So that case presumably opened there in DeKalb, and the state is incredibly concerned with 2 open cases against the same victim here, Your Honor. This appears to be escalating violence. We did speak with Miss Saeed. She and the defendant have been together for 1 year and 8 months, married for 2 months. They moved together. They moved in together at the end of 2024. And she confirmed the events on the warrant. She states the defendant has anger issues. She asserts he's a good person. But she stated the DeKalb incident was not as bad as this one. So it is getting worse. And she called the police mainly about her car being stolen, she reported, but realized it was not. There is some history of trauma within the victim's life she wanted to relay, and that they were going to do counseling, but there were other financial obligations that got in the way, such as he had to fix his car. She says she's okay with the defendant returning home. She does want him to do anger management. He was supposed to go to counseling for his other case, but stopped because of the payments that he needed to make to fix his car. So that's great. The state's recommendation is going to be for an $8,000 total surety, $4,000 for each count, out of our concern for the victim's safety here and the risk he poses to her. We are recommending FIB if he does bond out, as well as no further contact. Stay away from that apartment complex at 8 Cedar Run in Sandy Springs, and no drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond. If we could sound for Miss Saeed, I know she wants to speak here today, Judge.
Ms. Prati Saeed, if you want to chime in, please unmute and start your video. All right. Yes, please raise your right hand. Is that your right hand? Okay. Do you solemnly swear?
Yeah.
The testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge.
Yeah, I swear.
Okay. What would you like to tell us?
Um, Your Honor, it's just that it's been worse. Like my injuries, as you can tell, my right side of the jaw is so swollen. I've been trying to eat for the past 2 days, but I can't open my mouth.
Have you contacted your
I can
parents?
only,
Have you contacted?
my father died.
Have you
My
contacted
father died
family?
2 months ago.
Okay. Have you contacted?
No, Your Honor,
Okay.
I contacted my mother, and she knows that this has been going on. I I really wished that he could do better. He's a good man, but his anger can go to 0 to 100, and you don't know what's gonna happen next.
All right.
And
I know what I'm going to do. I just need to know whether you are comfortable otherwise, right? You can drive and you can feed yourself eventually.
drive where?
I mean, you're able to look after yourself.
Yeah, eventually, ma'am, I will. I had to take off work because I can't go with this face.
Okay, I understand. Thank you. Please mute your screen. Ms. Kim, anything to add?
Yes, Mr. Rana is 28 years old. He came to Georgia about 10 years ago. Currently, he is getting his master's degree for civil engineering at Kennesaw University. Your Honor, they have been married for more than 6 months. We would like to request for hopefully signature on bond, and no further violent contact. However, he has no objection to no contact and stay away if Your Honor is not inclined to give him a signature on bond or no violent contact because of the open DeKalb County case. We ask for the lowest possible bond, $1,000 surety bond. Thank you.
Mr. Scarapo, can you confirm he's got a federal agency hold right now?
Let me see if I can, Judge.
While you're looking, on count one, that's going to be a 3,500 surety bond. On count two, that's going to be a $3,000 surety bond. This is a $6,500 surety bond. Next court date is going to be June 2nd. No further contact with Prati Saeed. He is to stay 200 yards away from her. He's not to communicate with her in any way, form, or manner. That includes no contact through person, through mail, email, phones, computer devices, and even on social media. He's to stay away from the 8 Cedar Run location in Sandy Springs. He is not, let me repeat this, he is not allowed a one-time visit, right?
Nope.
He's already got a prior family violence case, and with this one, he forfeits his right to return to that location. If he does bond out and he is released from any holds, then he must update the court with his new address. No illegal drugs, no alcohol, no weapons, and Mr. Scarapo, any?
Yes,
Yes?
he does have that ICE hold, Judge.
Okay. Next court date is June 2nd. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, Kim. Position 11-1-1. Come on, Brown.
Tony Ednes, is that?
Lie down. Position 11.
Thank you, sir. Tony Edna's case is 26 CR 3227J, accused of criminal trespass.
All the way down.
Any priors, Mr. Harvey? Ms. Harvey, excuse me.
2 out of New Jersey and 49 cycles out of Georgia. There are prior convictions for criminal trespass from 2026, 2 from 2025, 23, 2020, 2016.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much. All right, Ms. Tucker, what's your recommendation?
Yes, Judge, it's gonna be $1,000 good bond with a stay away from MARTA and a social worker visit to assess for housing and any other issues. This case, he was asleep on a MARTA train. He does have a permanent ban that's been in effect since September 13th, 2025. But with that history, we're asking for $1,000 good bond, stay away from MARTA, and requesting a social worker visit for him.
Ms. Renfrey?
Yes, Your Honor. I did speak with Mr. Edness about the ban, and he now he knows he has a ban. Before he thought it was just a suspension and that the suspension was over with. So I'd be requesting that he gets a signature bond. He's not able to reach out to anyone to help to pay for a bond. He does have a good address, Your Honor, and he's been in Georgia since 9/11. He was living in New York prior to that. But because of the situation with 9/11, he did relocate because he felt more comfortable coming down here. He does work at Kroger, but he's currently on medical leave, Your Honor, and he mentioned that he does have a surgery scheduled for June 5th. And so due to that, he's not really able to afford much of a bond, Your Honor. And so I'd be asking for a signature bond so that he's able to get released soon.
Bond's going to be a $50 cash bond only. Next court date is June 2nd, and he is never allowed to use MARTA property. So he needs to stay away from all buses, trains, and the stations. Thank you.
Thank you.
Here on the front row. All right, position number one. Come on. Yes.
Dennis Allen.
Yes, ma'am.
Case is 26 CR 3249B. Mr. Allen is accused of theft by shoplifting and possession and use of drug-related objects. Any priors?
51 cycles. Last arrest was April 15, 2026 out of Brookhaven, Georgia for criminal trespass. That does appear to be an open case. There are 5 FTAs in the past 5 years. Theft by shoplifting convictions.
That's good.
That's enough.
Thank
Okay.
you. Ms. Tucker?
Yes, Judge. She didn't even barely scratch the surface of this history. We're gonna ask for
He
a
doesn't
15.
qualify for a signature bond, so I just want to
Okay.
know what your bond.
Okay, perfect. We're gonna ask for a $1,500 good bond on the shoplifting, 500 good on the drug-related objects for a total of 2,000 to stay away from the Texaco at 296 Northside Drive, Atlanta. The facts allege that he came in and out of this Texaco twice, first stealing beer, then stealing candy. He came back in a third time to steal more candy, and that's when they arrested him. A search incident to arrest found a crack pipe in his hoodie pocket.
Ms. Renford?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Allen is 41 years of age. He does have a good mailing address, his family home. He's been in the Metro Atlanta area for about 10 years. He is currently unemployed and he's been looking for a job. Since a signature bond is not applicable, I'd be asking for the lowest reasonable amount for him so that he's able to bond out, Your Honor, because he's not able to afford much of a bond and since the signature is not available.
On the theft by shoplifting is going to be $80. The possession and use of drug-related objects, $20. This is a $100 cash bond. Stay away from the Texaco gas station in question. And he is not to consume any illegal drugs and not to be in possession of any objects that relate to illegal drug activity. Next court date is June 2nd.
$100 cash bond. Have a seat on the first row. Position 4.
Christopher Chang is accused of 2 counts of simple battery family violence. Case 26 CR 3220E. Any priors?
1 out of South Carolina and 2 out of Georgia. Last arrest was July 9th, 2019 out of Johns Creek for reckless conduct. Recommendation is a level 1 and nothing further.
Ms. Tucker?
Yes, Judge, I did submit a consent bond, but Ms. Rainford didn't have time to speak with him. The state is recommending a $1,500 signature bond through level 1 on each of the charges for a total $3,000. Signature through pretrial level 1. No further violent contact with either of the victims, Joseph Chang or Joshua Chang, and we were requesting him to complete a parenting course while out on bond. These victims were his sons.
Ms. Renford, do you have any objections to any of these provisions?
No, Your Honor. I wouldn't be objecting to a signature bond.
Okay.
So that's okay.
15, Ms. Bridgewater will just issue a bond order. It's going to be 1,500 on each count. It's going to be a $3,000 signature bond for pretrial services, level 1. Mr. Chang will report to pretrial services once a month. While he reports to pretrial services, he will complete 4 parenting classes. And at all times, he's to have no physical and verbal altercations with Joseph and Joshua Chang. No illegal drugs, no alcohol, and no weapons. Thank you.
Have a seat on the front row. Our position number 8.
Savion Dillon is accused of theft by receiving stolen property, case 26 CR 3252C. Any priors, Ms. Houghton?
Yes, Your Honor. 8 cycles total with arrests out of Georgia, Florida, and Michigan. Last arrest was May 8th, 2026 out of Douglas County for simple battery and willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer. That does appear to be open. Also appears to have an open case out of Bay County, Florida for burglary. That the date of that arrest was May 8th, 2024. There's a 2026 theft by shoplifting conviction out of Douglas County and a hold out of Jonesboro. Recommendation is a level 3, nothing further.
Ms. Tucker?
Yes, Judge, we're asking for a $2,000 good bond, no further contact with Tiara Green, and to stay away from 14th Street and Techwood Drive. You likely recognize that location. It's where the water boys typically are. In this case, the victim was driving. A different man approached her car, asked for a donation. She said she didn't have cash, so he took her phone and cash apped $1,000 to this defendant's cash app. That's the basis of the theft by receiving stolen property. We did speak with Miss Green. She says she's not seen either of these parties. But she would just like for the bonds to be set with no further contact.
Ms. Renford, any objection to a 2,000 surety bond?
If it could be lowered, Your Honor, I'd be asking that due to the fact that he does have that hold in Clayton County, Your Honor.
Multi-state offender, several crimes of moral crime and moral turpitude, a burglary, open charge, and 2,000 surety. Stay away from 14th and Techwood Drive, and no further contact with Tiara Green. Next court date is going to be June 2nd.
Yeah. Next case, position 25.
Wesley Lever is accused of simple battery family violence, 26 CR 3237L. Any priors, Ms. Sarver?
Last arrest was May 18th, 2025 out of Wilkes County for a probation violation. There does appear to be an open case out of Richmond County for sale of marijuana. There's a 2015 possession of marijuana less than an ounce conviction, 2016 possession of marijuana less than an ounce, 2016 simple battery family violence, 2017 sale of marijuana and possession of a firearm. It was sealed under first offender in 2020. And a 2022 conviction for theft by receiving stolen property. Recommendation from pretrial is a level 3 and nothing further.
Mr. Scirocco?
Yes, Your Honor. This was the May 18th incident, so just 2 days ago, 891 Mansell Road in Roswell. Officer had responded to that location regarding a domestic, and they made contact with the victim, Miss Diamond Joel. She explained she and her ex-boyfriend, the defendant, were sitting in her truck. She began asking him questions about another female, and he got upset, started cursing at her, increasingly angry to the point where he threw a 2000, excuse me, where is it? No, a Subway sandwich at her, right at her face, striking her in the face. And both of her children, minor children, BJ and AS, were in the vehicle at the time. AS is the biological daughter of the defendant and the victim here. She also advised that they no longer reside together, but they continued seeing each other following the end of their relationship in 2023, romantically on occasion since that breakup. The defendant admitted that he became angry and threw a Subway sandwich at her face before exiting the vehicle. Um, with what I see is I believe pretrial mention. If you didn't, I want to make sure it's in there on the record. Nolo plea for simple battery, family violence, 2016, Richmond County.
And it was mentioned, yes.
Okay, thank you. And you heard the open case as well, Judge.
Mhm.
The state's recommendation, given that and the probation violations as of recent, is going to be a $2,000 surety. We are recommending 2 days anger awareness, as well as no further contact with Diamond Joel. Stay away from her residence. I was looking up this address. It appears to be just a commercial location. So stay away from wherever she resides. No drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond. If we could sound for Miss Joel, Judge.
Diamond Joel, if you're on Zoom and you want to address the court, please unmute and start your video. All right, Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor. My client is 32 years old, born and raised here in Georgia all his life, Your Honor. He has 3 minor children and he pays a lot of child support. It's kind of significant amount of money. After graduating from high school successfully, he also went to college, Strayer University for business study. He has not graduated yet, but he is on the way to graduate. He's currently residing with his mother, so he has no objection to no contact and stay away as long as he can have a contact with his child. There's only one child that is involved with alleged victim. We ask for a signature on bond, and yet if Your Honor is not inclined to give him a signature on bond because of previous case and open case, we ask for the maximum $1,000 surety bond. He has been unemployed because he goes to school full time, so he does not have any funds to pay for the bond. Thank you, Your Honor.
Bond is set at $2,000. It is a surety bond. I will allow him a 10% option if he wants to exercise that. If he exercises the option, it will be 12 months reporting to pretrial services, level 1. No further contact with Diamond Joel, no further contact with the child or children that he shares with Ms. Joel. He can file a legitimation case upon his release, and he can obtain a court-ordered parenting plan, at which time Ms. Joel can then counter for child support unless he's already paying her child support through a court order.
Thank you.
Next court date is June 2nd.
Get off your head. Have a seat right there. 38.
38.
Hey, you ain't trying to camera doing all
This is Isaiah Tavon Reeves, case 26 CR 3265Y, accused of 7 counts of theft by taking. Mr. Reeves, you've been advised of your rights. Ms. Harvey?
13 cycles. Last arrest was December 19, 2025, out of Brookhaven for theft by taking and giving false name. That does appear to be an open case. There's an FTA hold out of Decatur and an FTA hold out of College Park. 2025 criminal trespass conviction. 2024 terroristic threats. 5 additional open cases out of Fulton County. Case number.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Scaraco?
Yes, Your Honor, and I did see, it did appear there was a terroristic threats and acts conviction alongside that 2025 criminal trespass conviction. From what I could tell here, this was this was the theft of 7 different scooters from 7 different victims, all electric scooters, on 6 different days from March 28th through April 22nd of this year, across Georgia Tech's campus. I just want to list the victims' names here. Jakai Yang, Vishalraj Ramajayam. The third victim's name is Rohan Mahajani. Fourth, Kayla Minto. Fifth, Tomohiro Mochida. Sixth, Mr. Yash Bhatia. And the seventh, Mr. Phuc Vu. All of these individuals had their electric scooters stolen from campus, these Georgia Tech students, and they finally apprehended the defendant here for these offenses across that month-long period, just over a month. You heard he has several open cases.
Yes.
And that is one of those being certainly a theft offense, but I want Your Honor to know, be aware of how much of a terror he seems to be with respect to the public. That it looks like, you think disorderly conduct, 25 CR 002010Y. That was a MARTA case. He's accused of with essentially holding a fake gun to their head.
I just need your bond recommendation at this juncture.
I understand, Judge. This is a problematic defendant in the state's eyes, and we are concerned with him. So the state is recommending a $1.5 thousand surety for each theft by taking offense. We are recommending, I believe that comes out to a total $10,500 surety. Anti-theft class, if he happens to bond out, stay away from all Georgia Tech premises and property. No further contact with any of the victims that I listed. No drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond. And that should be it, Judge.
Thank you. Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Reeves is 19 years old, young. And Your Honor, I do understand he does have some open cases, but we would like to request for the lowest possible bond. Since he's got to get a new life. He also has to go to College Park at DeKalb County, so he's going to be incarcerated for a while, Your Honor. He has one baby on the way. Actually, today was his baby's due day that will come out to the earth. And he's kind of like really scared that he will not be able to see the baby very soon. He is currently residing with his mother, and he also has employment at McDonald's. After 10th grade, he went to College Park to get his GED, and he is working hard to get that. We would like to request for the lowest possible bond, $100 cash bond. Thank you.
On each count is going to be $750, and that's going to be a cash bond only. His total bond is going to be $5,250 cash bond only. He is to stay away from the identified victims, and he's to stay 500 yards away from the entire Georgia Tech campus. His next court date is going to be June 2nd, and I hope I get all his other open cases. 25 CR 2010Y, 25 CR 3600Y, 25 CR 6692Y, 26 CR 3137Y. I believe those were the ones. And then, of course, this one.
Hey, Judge, what was the total amount again? I'm sorry.
It's $750 cash on each count, so that should be $5,250 cash bond.
Thank you.
Next case.
Position 7.
Deputy, you're playing boomerang with us, going back and forth. But okay, let's go with position 7. Salvador Diaz Ignacio, charged with 2 counts of simple battery family violence, case 26 CR 3222G. Any priors?
9 cycles. Last arrest was February 7th, 2026, out of Gwinnett County for driving without a valid license. There's a he was convicted in that case, Your Honor. There's a 2024 conviction for driving without a valid license. Appears to be on probation. I'm sorry, let's see. There appears to be an open case out of Fulton County for driving while license suspended or revoked, an open case out of DeKalb County for driving without a valid license, and a 2014 conviction for driving while license suspended or revoked. Also an FTA from 2025, and nothing further.
Ms. Tucker?
Yes, Judge, we're asking for a $1,500 good bond on each count for a total of $3,000. No further contact with Annie Lisette Diaz, his daughter, or Sierra Hernandez, his wife, and to stay away from this location, 2423 MLK Junior Drive in Atlanta. His daughter said that her dad choked her with one hand. There is video of this, and this was all in front of the younger children. And then he slapped his wife, also on video, also in front of the younger children. We were unable to get in contact with either of them, but considering this just happened on the 18th, I believe there needs to be a cooling off period. We are asking for that $3,000 good bond with no further contact and to stay away.
Ms. Kim?
To me, Your Honor.
Oh, I'm sorry, Ms. Renfrey?
Mr. Diaz Ignacio is 47 years of age. He does live at the residence where the incident took place. If Your Honor will be issuing a stay away order, I'd ask that he's able to retrieve his belongings. It seems like this is the first time he's had any issues with his family, Your Honor. All his recent or prior infractions or convictions are from traffic violations, Your Honor. He's been in Georgia for almost 30 years. He has 5 grown children. He does do plumbing for a living, Your Honor. So I'd be asking for a signature bond, and if that's not applicable, I'd be asking for nothing more than 1,000 max for his bond, Your Honor.
With respect to count 1, I think that involves the daughter. That's going to be a $2,000 surety bond. With regards to the wife, I believe that's count 2. That's going to be a $1,000 surety bond. This is a $3,000 surety bond. No further contact with both these individuals, and to stay away from 2423 Martin Luther King Jr. Drive. He's not permitted a one-time visit. He's got multiple holds, including 2 from federal agencies and 1 from, I can't make out whether it's the Atlanta Municipal Court. But he's got at least 3 holds that I can make out. Next court date is June 2nd. No illegal drugs, no alcohol, and no firearms. Thank you.
Let's see on the first row. Position 14, come on. Okay.
Siobhan Gale, is that correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. Mr. Gale, you've got a charge of theft by taking and loitering or prowling, 26 CR 3225H. Any priors?
8 cycles. Last arrest was May 23rd, 2020, out of Candler County for possession of cocaine. He was sentenced in 2021 under conditional discharge for possession of a Schedule II controlled substance. There's a 2017 simple battery and willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer and a 2013 battery conviction. Recommendation from pretrial is a level 3 and nothing further.
Ms. Tucker?
Yes, Judge, we're asking for a $1,000 good bond on the theft by taking and a $500 good bond on the loitering for a total of $1,500. With conditions no further contact with Madison McKay and to stay away from the Buckhead Lofts at 3235 Roswell Road. These facts allege that this defendant entered the parking deck by following a car. He wandered around the parking deck for a while, then he took the elevator to the lobby, went to the front desk, and while the victim was in the back concierge room, he reached over the desk and took her AirPods. We did speak with Miss McKay. She said, yeah, she had never seen him before, but she was afraid because the door is locked and he yanked it open. So she grabbed her keys and phone, and that's why she went to the back. She locked herself in because she was afraid of this man, but she didn't.
I'm sorry. Did we just lose courtroom 2? Sorry, just hold. All right, courtroom 2, can you hear us? Courtroom 2, can you hear us? We just lost you on Zoom just now.
Go ahead, Judge. I can hear you.
All right, sorry about that. So she grabbed a bag and did what?
Yeah, she grabbed everything except for her AirPods, and she went and she hid from this man. She indicated she would not be on the Zoom today, but she wanted us to let you know she definitely wants no further contact and to stay away from where she works, which are these Buckhead lofts.
Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Gale is 30 years old, born and raised here in Georgia, Your Honor. He does live with himself, all by himself, actually. And he wanted to have no further violent contact, and yet he will respect the order and have no contact. Your Honor,
No violent contact?
I apologize. I thought it was not the I made a mistake. Sorry about that. There's no need for no further violent contact. He does not need any contact with Miss Madison McKay because he does not really know that person at all. My client does not have any child. He graduated from high school 2012. After that, he has successfully completed trade schools for plumbing, carpentry, electricity, and painting. And right now, he is as a small business doing cleaning clothes right now. We asked for a signature on bond, and yet, if Your Honor is not inclined to give him a signature on bond, we asked for the maximum of $1,000 security bond for both of the charges. Thank you.
Count 1 is going to be 1,000. Count 2 is 500. This is a $1,500 surety bond. To stay 200 yards away from the entire location of the bucket lofts, including the parking decks and so forth, at 3235 Roswell Road in Northeast Atlanta. No contact with Madison McKay, and his next court date is June 2nd. Thank you.
Your Honor, can he have a 10%?
Not under these allegations.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
I will see you on the first row. Gail. Position 18. Gail.
Clarence Edward Grimes is accused of simple assault, family violence, and criminal trespass causing damage to property. 26 CR 3233G. Ms. Harvey?
3 cycles. The last arrest was in 1999 out of DeKalb County for abandonment of dependent child. Recommendation from pretrials of level 2 and nothing further.
Thank you. Ms. Tucker?
Yes, Judge, we're asking for $1,000 good bond on the simple assault, family violence, and a $500 good on the criminal trespass and damage for a total of $1,500 with conditions no further contact with Lolita Monfort and to stay away from 344 Breeze Meadow in Fairburn. The facts allege that an argument led to the defendant throwing a cell phone at this victim twice. The victim was able to dodge the cell phone both times, but it left damage in the wall, 2 spots of damages in the wall. We were unable to get in contact with Miss Monfort, so I can't recommend a signature bond, but that's why if we could sound for her just in case. Otherwise, we're asking for that $1,500 good bond, no further contact, and to stay away.
Lolita Monfort, if you want to chime in, this is, if you're present, please unmute and start your video. Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Grimes is 60 years old and he has been here in Georgia for the last 3 years. He does have a grown child and also he has 2 minor children. They do not, apparently, alleged victim and my client, they do not live anymore, even though they do have 2 kids together. As long as he has a third-party transfer for his children, he has no objection to stay away and no contact. Right now, that place, the incident location, is actually my client's mother's place. And we can have a one-time law enforcement officer escorted visit to verify that Ms. Montfort does not reside there, and then my client can return to his place. After graduating from high school in 1983, he went to Army to serve for our country as a veteran, 84 to 87. That's what he did. And he has a CDL license to be a truck driver ever since then. He's been a truck driver for the last 25 years, and he's rarely at home. But anyway, it was we would like to request for signature on bond. The last one that he had was 1999, more than 27 years ago. We asked for signature on bond. There was no violence against her. She has no injury whatsoever. And that will be what we asked for. Thank you.
All right. And given his current occupation, will he be able to report pretrial services twice a month?
It will have to be over the phone, Your Honor.
One vote. All right. On the simple assault family violence, that's going to be 2,000. The criminal trespass is going to be 1,500. This is going to be a 3,500 signature bond through pretrial services. I'm going to make it a level 1. No further contact. No, excuse me. No further violent contact with Lolita Mumford, and he may return to the Breeze Meadow location. Within 30 days of being released, he will enroll in a domestic violence intervention program and complete all 24 weeks of classes at his expense. He's not allowed to miss or skip any classes. So he'll need to work his trucking schedule into his family violence class schedule. No illegal drugs, no alcohol, no weapons, and this will be for a 12-month monitoring with pretrial. If he violates these conditions, or if he gets arrested again, or if he fails to complete the FBIT program, his bond will be revoked. Within 30 days, he must enroll. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Position 29, see over here.
Joshua Mack is accused of disorderly conduct and criminal trespass, case number 26 CR 3243E. Any priors?
Last arrest, Your Honor, was February 15th, 2026, out of Fulton County for willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer, criminal trespass, and disorderly conduct. There appears to be an open case out of Atlanta for criminal trespass, on probation out of Fulton County for criminal trespass and disorderly conduct, sentenced March 30th, 2026 to 12 months probation. Also, there's probation for aggravated assault, possession of a knife or firearm during the commission of a felony, and theft by taking, sentenced October 2nd, 2023 to 15 years, 5 years suspended, and 10 years on probation. And nothing further, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Scirocco?
Yes, Your Honor. There's also another recent conviction for criminal trespass and fare evasion, 26 CR 666H from March 3rd of this year. The defendant here was at 1 Margaret Mitchell Square in Atlanta, the Central Library, Fulton County, on May 18th, and he was being belligerent, using profanity towards security guards at the location. They refused to allow him to bring in alcohol to the library. There were children present. A cultural event was being held there while he was behaving as such, and he was told he had to leave the property for the remainder of the day. He could return the following day, and he refused to leave, had to be escorted out of the building. And while this was going on, he had continued yelling obscenities and threatened the officer escorting him that he was going to beat his ASS. He then left the property and then returned to the property that same day, despite the clear instructions not to return, and continued to act disorderly, resisting efforts to be placed in the rear of the patrol vehicle. The state's recommendation here with his recent convictions for criminal trespass, I should note there's also another, in addition to what's been stated, 2 other NOLOs for criminal trespass, 2025 and 2024. Another conviction for criminal trespass 2024 and a conviction for obstruction 2024. That being said, the state's recommending a $2,000 surety, one count, 1,000 for each count. Social worker visit for BH housing. ADET might be beneficial here, Your Honor. So we'd recommend that as well. Stay away from the Margaret Mitchell Square Central Library in Atlanta. No drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond. That should be all. Thank you.
Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor. My client is 21 years old. He actually graduated from Locust Grove High School not that long ago, and ever since graduation from high school, he has not been able to get a job yet. He's been searching for a job, but he has not landed to any formal employment. He says that he has been residing with his mother, and I tried to contact his mother to ask for some questions, but I was not able to reach her. We asked for signature on bond, and yet we do also understand because of his recent arrest history and open case, he may not be qualified for a signature on bond. We asked for the lowest possible bond, like $10 cash. He does not have any any funds to pay for a bond. Thank you very much.
On the disorderly conduct, that's going to be 750. On the criminal trespass is 1,000. This is 1,750 surety bond. To stay away from the Margaret Mitchell Library at 1 Margaret Mitchell Square in Atlanta, Georgia. He's not allowed to use any public libraries in Fulton County, Georgia. Next court date is going to be June 2nd. And I'm trying to find his other open cases, but I don't know if there's an issue with his date of birth. But if you all have it, please make sure those cases reset to SAP. Thank you.
LC on the first row. Come on.
And I didn't see any open. The one that was mentioned, being the most recent criminal trespass, I believe was his most recent conviction, Judge.
Oh, I see. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Deputy, who do we have?
Position 33.
Okay. This is Margravius Obi, yeah, accused of battery, family violence, reckless conduct, simple battery, family violence, and 4 counts of cruelty in the 3rd degree, case 26 CR 3254J. Any priors?
27 cycles. Last arrest was July 7th, 2023 out of Fulton County for criminal trespass, reckless conduct, and willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer. There's a 2015 theft by receiving stolen property, 2014 battery, 2014 willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer, 2013 disorderly conduct, 09 criminal trespass and simple battery. There's a 2010 terroristic threats and simple assault, which was sealed on the first offender in 2017. Recommendation from pretrial, Your Honor, is a level 2 and nothing further.
Mr. Scrub?
Yes, Judge. The May 19th incident here, so just yesterday at 2174 Allen Drive in Atlanta, this involved officers responding to a shots fired call in a fight in progress. They made contact with the victim, Miss Maya Phillips, defendant's girlfriend. They lived together and share 4 children, juveniles AO, MO, KO, and LO. They were getting, Miss Phillips was getting her daughters ready for school. There was an argument over the carpet being dirty. While she was sitting on the couch, the defendant had pushed and punched her. She couldn't determine whether it was a closed or an open fist. And she stated it was also while he was holding her neck down. Excuse me, they did. There was an intervention by third parties. Miss Phillips's brother, Shenard Ruckert, jumped on the defendant, Miss Lamaya Obi. Excuse me. Please disregard that name. LO tried to intervene as well. And then at that point, Mr. Shenard Rucker and the defendant became involved in a physical altercation. The defendant states they both went out after he had waived his rights. He was Red Miranda. They both went outside and retrieved firearms, though they spoke with the juvenile LO, and she had stated that it was her father who went outside to retrieve a firearm and fired 2 shots into the air. Defendant admitted to firing 2 shots into the air. Officer recovered 9mm shell casings outside, 2 of them. And from the strike, and she has sent us a photo of this. It looks bad. There was a burst blood vessel, looks like several in her right eye. And all of the children that I had mentioned were present on scene, witnessed the altercation here, Judge. He's got a very robust history of violence and other offenses. There's arrests with firearms, cases with firearms, and there are several cases that have been really stripped down in terms of these pleas. I've actually been kind of shocked today. But there was a simple battery family violence case with her, the victim here, Miss Maya Phillips from 2020. I've been looking for the specific disposition for that. Yeah, it was ultimately I think this was Noel Prost. Oh, incorrect. It was a guilty plea. He was convicted in 2023 for his offenses against Miss Maya Phillips under 20 CR 004203A. So I stand corrected.
What's the conviction from July 2023? What's your bond recommendation?
Judge, it's a $10,000 surety. And we did speak with Miss Maya Phillips. They've been together since she was 14. She mentioned the other DV case, and she didn't remember how long ago it was, but these are the times that he's put his hands on her. She states he's never threatened her with a weapon, and that she was able to breathe when the defendant held her down by her neck. Wasn't sure how long it happened, but her breathing, she says, wasn't obstructed. All the children were present. She's okay with a no contact and a stay away order, and she's fine with contact with the children. Excuse me. For the children with third-party transport, her oldest daughter drives if there's no other third-party person.
Let's hear from Maya Phillips. Miss Phillips, please unmute and start your video.
Hello.
Yes, Miss Phillips, how many children do you share with Mr. Obi?
4.
And are you married to Mr. Obi?
No.
Has he legitimated the 4 children?
Yes.
When did he do that?
Well, he's on all of their birth certificates.
That's not legitimation. All right, that's all I needed to know. Thank you, Ms. Phillips. Please mute your screen.
And we were recommending as the breakdown being 3,000 on the battery family violence, 4,000 on the reckless conduct for the discharge of the firearm, 1,000 on the simple battery family violence, and 500 on each cruelty to children count, Judge. FIB, if he bonds out, no further contact, stay away from that address, 2174 Allen Drive, no drugs, weapons, or alcohol, and surrender any and all firearms to the sheriff's office.
Understood.
Thank you.
Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Obi is 34 years old, and he was born and raised here in Georgia. He graduated from high school 2010. After that, he worked as a security guard, but mainly he has been a chef. He does have a safe serve certification. He does have an ice cream truck, and also he's working for Nissy's cleaning business as well. Your Honor, he has no objection to no contact and stay away as long as he gets third-party transfer to have a visit with his children. But that incident location is, my client intends to move out of that location, so she can stay with her children over there, and my client will go to his mother's address. We would like to request for the lowest possible bond, and $10,000 surety bond might be too high for him. So we ask for maximum $5,000 surety bond.
Thank you. On the battery family violence, that's going to be a $1,000 surety bond. On the reckless conduct, that's going to be a $4,000 surety bond. The remaining charges are all going to be a $1,000 surety bond. This adds up to a $10,000 surety bond. No further contact with Maya Phillips. No further contact with the 4 children that he shares with Ms. Phillips. If he wishes to have any contact with the children, he must file a legitimation case and get a court-ordered parenting plan. No illegal drugs, no alcohol, and definitely no firearms. He's not allowed to own a firearm, be in possession of one, or have any firearms close to him. Any firearms that he currently owns must be surrendered to the authorities for destruction. His next court date is June 2nd. Thank you.
Your Honor, can he have a sheriff's 10% program?
It involves a firearm, so I'm not doing that. Thank you.
Your Honor, will you go over those bond amounts again, please?
Count 1, battery family violence is $1,000. Reckless conduct is $4,000, and the remaining charges are $1,000 each.
Thank you.
That should add up to $10,000 surety.
Hey, Judge. Hey, Judge, I'm sorry to interrupt. My name is Dustin Williams. And
What are you calling about?
and
Which case are you calling about?
with Tanisha Norris.
Okay, please be quiet and mute your screen.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Next case.
Everybody waivers, Judge.
All right, thank you. Okay, position number 1, Dennis Allen, was a $100 cash bond, reset date to June 2nd. Position 2, Wesley Bailey, is that a waiver?
Bailey was not my client, Your Honor. I don't think I can.
Renford, have you spoken to Wesley Bailey?
Yes, I spoke with him. That shouldn't have been a waiver. If anything, he should have been bonded out. Because when I spoke with him and interviewed him, he did mention that someone was supposed to be paying his bond.
Yeah, his bond posted.
He's posted? Okay, so he is released and further notice. Position 3, Belcher, is a 3,000 signature bond to pretrial level 2. Position 4, Chang, is a 3,000 signature bond to pretrial level 1. Position 5 is a $1,500 surety bond, reset June 2nd. Position 6, Michael Cressy, is that a waiver?
Yes, that's my client, Your Honor.
All right. Cressy is charged with simple assault, theft by shoplifting, and willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer. Case 26 CR 3221F. Any priors?
17 cycles. Last arrest was April 15, 2026, out of Douglas County for removal or abandonment of shopping carts and theft by shoplifting. That does appear to be an open case. There's a 2017 conviction for driving while license suspended or revoked, a 2017 NOLO for driving while license suspended, 2012 theft by taking, and 01 robbery. Recommendation from pretrial is a level 3 and nothing further.
Ms. Tucker, what's your bond recommendation for Mr. Cressy?
Yes, we're asking for a $1,500 good on the simple assault, $1,000 good on the theft by shoplifting, and $1,000 on the obstruction for a total of $3,500 good bond with conditions no further contact with Sarfraz Muhammad and to stay away from the Family Dollar at 3721 Campbellton Road in Atlanta. This defendant entered the store. He asked a worker. Okay.
Very good. Thank you. Ms. Renford?
Yes, Your Honor. My client is 49 years of age. He does have a good mailing address. He's been in Georgia all his life. He isn't working right now, but he did mention that he recently got employed and will be starting next week at Quality Drive Away. He does have his GED and he did do a year at Georgia Piedmont Tech. Due to the fact that he hasn't started making money from this job yet, I'd be asking for a signature bond because he's currently technically still unemployed and unable to afford much of a bond, Your Honor. So I'd be asking for a signature bond for my client.
You need with eyelashes. Okay. That was the funny thing in that warrant. On the simple assault, that's going to be 750. The theft by shoplifting is 500, and the willful obstruction is going to be 750. This is a $2,000 surety bond to have no contact with I think it's Safras Mohammed, and stay away from the Family Dollar store at Campbellton Road. Next court date is going to be June 2nd.
You said 2,000 surety, Your Honor?
Yeah, it's 750, 500, and 750. That should add up to 2,000. Yeah.
Thank you.
Position 7 is a $3,000 surety bond, reset date to June 2nd. Position 8, Dylan, is a 2,000 surety, June 2nd. Position 9, Doss, is a consent bond for a $1,000 signature bond, pre-trial level 1. Position 10, Dumbian, is a 2,500 signature bond for pre-trial level 1. 11, Edness, is a $50 cash bond, June 2nd. 12, Fauntleroy is a 3,500 surety bond with a 10% option, reset to June 2nd. 13, Juan Fletcher.
Yes, this is also a waiver of appearance, Your Honor. This is my client.
Mr. Fletcher is accused of PI and criminal trespass from 26 CR 3258G. Any priors?
90 cycles. Last arrest was February 15, 2026 for criminal trespass and simple battery against a police officer. There are
Any FTAs?
Does not appear so, but I can tell you, Your Honor, there is a prior PI from 2014 and at least 5 prior criminal trespass convictions, 2018 possession of cocaine, 2018 simple battery against a police officer, 2018 theft by taking. He's on probation for, there's an open PI case. On probation for simple battery against a police officer, sentenced April 16, 2026 to 12 months on probation. Out of Clayton County for theft by taking, there's probation, sentenced August 4th, 2021 to 5 years on probation.
Okay, so that's good. Thank you. And Ms. Tucker, what's your bond recommendation?
Yes, Judge. So I am very familiar with Mr. Fletcher. He's been on the competency calendar. You heard he's got all these recent cases and he's been on the competency calendar. He just took a plea last month. In this case, we're asking, and based on these facts, I believe he might need to go back to the competency calendar. We're asking for $1,000 good bond on count 1 and 500 good on count 2 with a stay away from MARTA and a social worker visit.
Any objection, Ms. King?
No objection, Your Honor. 11 a.m., please.
$2,000 surety bond, reset date to the 11 a.m. calendar. I don't know if June 2nd is a Thursday.
No, it would be, he needs to go on the June 4th.
Okay, so the June 4th calendar at 11 a.m. Stay away from all model property and no illegal drugs, alcohol, and weapons. Position 14, Gail, is a $1,500 surety, reset to June 2nd. Position 15, Aisha George. Is that a waiver or a reset?
I believe this is a reset, Your Honor. I wasn't able to talk to this client, but the officer did mention it was a mental health reset, so.
Okay. This is going to be an MH reset to May 22nd at 2 p.m. Position 16, Gibson, is a 3,500 signature bond for pre-trial level 2. 17, Gilbert, battery family violence. Is that a waiver, reset, or release?
Yours.
Gilbert?
Yeah.
Stephen Gilbert?
Yeah, I believe I have it. Your Honor, just give me 1 second to find the note. There's so many. It seems like got kind of.
All right, let's put a pin on position number 17 and we'll come back to that. Position 18, Grimes. I have 3,500 signature bond for pre-trial level 1.
Yeah.
19, Ashley Hurt is a 1,000 surety bond. Reset date to June 2nd. Nicholas Hudson, position 20. Is that a waiver, reset?
Yes, waiver, Your Honor. I also filed a note for my client, Mr. Gilbert, as well.
Okay, let's begin with Gilbert then. Stephen Gilbert is accused of battery, family violence, 26 CR 3234B, position 17 on the calendar. Any priors, Ms. Harvey?
First arrest, Your Honor. Recommendation is a level 1.
Any recommendations, Ms. Tucker?
Yes, Judge, we're recommending $1,500 good bond with conditions no further contact with Marcus Littman and 1350 Benning Place in Atlanta. We were unable to reach Mr. Littman ahead of court. If we could sound for him and hear if he's on now.
Marcus Littman, if you're on Zoom, this is the time to unmute and start your video. No.
And are you familiar with these facts,
Yes,
Judge?
Just pulling it up. I open all these multiple screens, so got that window open. Go ahead.
Your Honor, Mr. Gilbert is 21 years young. He was born and raised here in Georgia. He's currently residing with his mother. We asked for signature on bond, considering the fact that this is his first arrest, Your Honor. No context stay away will be very, very fine with him. Except that 1350 Benning Place is his place where he resides with his mother, Your Honor.
He resides with his mother?
Yes. That's what I was told.
It seems that the victim lives there as well.
They've been together for about less than a year in that location. So I mean, I do know they live together, but they haven't been living together for a long time.
I'm sorry. This is Stephen Gilbert's mother. They just started living together less than 2 months ago.
Okay, that's what I thought. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right. On the bond recommendation, that's going to be a 3,500 signature bond for pretrial services. Level 2, he's to have no further contact with Marcus Littman, and he's to stay away from 1350 Benning Place in Northeast Atlanta. He will report to pretrial services twice a month. He is not to, he's to complete 12 anger awareness classes. His report with pretrial will be for a 12-month duration. No illegal drugs, no alcohol, no firearms and weapons. Thank you.
Your Honor, is there any way that he can retrieve his things at that address?
I'll allow a one-time visit.
With a police escort?
That's true.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. That visit cannot exceed 1 hour.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Your Honor.
Yeah, Ms. Kim, we good?
Yes.
Okay, then we're going on to your second client, Nicholas Hudson, position 20. 2 counts of giving false information to an officer and failure to use the sidewalk. Any priors on position 20?
4 cycles. Last arrest was October 20th, 2025 for terroristic threats, willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer, tampering with the evidence, possession of cocaine, sale of marijuana, and theft by receiving stolen property out of Cobb County. That does appear to be an open case. Appears to be on probation out of Fulton County for possession and use of drug-related objects. Sentenced June 23rd of 2025 to 12 months probation. And there's a 2025 battery family violence NOLO. Recommendation from pretrial is a level 2. Nothing further.
Ms. Tucker?
Yes, Judge, considering he's got these open cases and he was giving false names to the officer, we're asking for a $500 good bond on each of the giving false info. And we're fine with a $500 SOB through the jail on the pedestrian and roadway for a $1,500 split bond.
Ms. Kim, any objection?
Yes, we would like to request for the lowest possible surety bond, maybe $10 cash bond. He does have a probation violation, so no matter what he gets, he will be still here in the jail. I just want him to get some credit for time served here. Um, I don't think he should have been arrested even for pedestrian must walk on sidewalk. So we probably will argue for no probable cause to even ask for his information. However, at this point, we ask for $10 cash bond.
And you don't need probable cause to ask for his information.
$15 cash bond on count one, $15 cash bond on count two, and a UJR on count three. This is a split bond of $30 cash bond plus UJR. No violent contact with law enforcement. Next court date is June 2nd.
Thank you.
Position 21, Chris Jackson is a consent bond, $1,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. Position 2, Jimenez is a $1,500 surety bond, reset date June 2nd. 23, Johnson's a $3,000 signature bond to pretrial level 2. And position 24, Marquez King, accused of theft by shoplifting. Are we proceeding?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that a waiver?
Waiver, yes, Your Honor. Absolutely. We ask for 11 a.m., Your Honor. He is very famous for.
Bond is going to be set at a 500 surety bond. Any objection, Ms. Tucker? This is the Murphy gas station.
Yes, I was gonna ask for the same thing. He was just on the competency calendar as recent as March this year. I would ask for a stay away from the Murphy USA gas station at 6135 Old National Highway in South Fulton.
All right, so 500 surety bond reset to June 4th at 11 a.m. And stay away from the gas station, Murphy gas station at 6135 Old National Highway. Next court date is June 4th, 11 a.m. 25, Leverett is a $2,000 surety bond with a 10% option. Reset date June 2nd. 26, Christopher Lloyd, wave sounding.
Yes,
And is this a waiver or?
Waiver, Your Honor.
Right. Christopher Lloyd charged with 2 misdemeanor offenses. Count 1 and count 2 is criminal trespass. 26 CR 3255J. Ms. Harvey, any priors?
13 Cycles, last arrest October 20th, 2025 for a probation violation out of Fulton County. There's a 2025 simple battery family violence, 2015 armed robbery, aggravated assault, and a misdemeanor battery, which is the same on the calendar. 2014 driving while license suspended. 2013 sale of marijuana. 2013 obstruction. 2011 simple battery. Recommendation from pretrial, Your Honor, is a level 3 and nothing further.
Mr. Scirocco, I've already read the warrant, so we don't need to go into those details. But what's the bond recommendation?
The bond recommendation is going to be for a $5,000 cash bond, Judge. $4,500 on the first count and $500 on the second count. There was a recent conviction for simple battery that was pled down from a CUAC offense. Similar MARTA case with a different victim, I will say. And that was, he was convicted October 2025 of that. And I believe he did violate probation. Additionally, there's a bevy of cases out of Cobb for violent offenses, violent felony offenses. And one of those cases was for the same offense, of which she was convicted in 2015 as count 1 here. So we are enormously concerned for the safety and the well-being of the public with him being out. We are recommending that $5,000 cash bond with social worker visits for BH. No further contact with Ms. T.R. Hernandez. Stay away from MARTA premises and property. No drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond. And if I'm wrong, pretrial, did you mention the open cases he's also being held in on?
I've got the felony.
You got all that?
Yes, I've got
Okay,
it.
Judge.
Thank you. Miss Kim?
Yes, Your Honor. I don't think he's gonna get any bond for his felony charges. So
Yeah, he doesn't qualify for a bond at the present time.
I understand that he's not qualified for signature on bond, but we would like to request that current $4,700 surety bond that was already set by the magistrate judge to remain set, Your Honor, instead of going up to cash bond. There's no way he's gonna be able to pay for any of these, Your Honor.
On count one, that's going to be a $5,000 surety bond. Count two is $2,500. This is a $7,500 surety bond. He's to stay away from all model property, no contact with Tiara Hernandez, and the case is reset to June 2nd. He does have two other open felony cases that he's in the no bond status. Thank you. Steve Love, criminal trespass and willful obstruction. Waiver, release, or reset?
There's gonna be a medical reset. He currently at Grady right now.
All right. This is going to be a Grady reset to June 22nd. Thank you. At 2 p.m. Position 28 is a 2,500 signature bond for pretrial level 1. Would that be correct?
That is correct.
Okay, thank you. Position 29, Joshua Mack is a 1,750 surety bond, reset June 2nd. 30, McCoy is a 3,500 signature bond for pretrial level 2. 31, Morrison is a 3,500 signature bond for pretrial level 2. 32, Tanisha Norris. Is this going to be a waiver, release, or reset?
It is a waiver, Your Honor.
All right.
Yes, I'm here. Your Honor, what?
I got you. Please hold. Please hold.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
we have a process, and I don't let people disrupt the process. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Tanisha Dania Norris is case 26 CR 0032401. The charges are 2 counts of battery, family violence, simple battery, family violence, and cruelty in the 3rd degree. Ms. Norris is not in court. Her presence has been waived, and her attorney is going to argue on her behalf, who is Ms. Kim, seated in courtroom 2. Any priors on Ms. Norris, Ms. Harvey?
Yes, Your Honor. 1 cycle in Georgia, 2 out of Tennessee. Last arrest was April 23rd, 2026, out of Fulton County for simple battery, family violence, cruelty to the children in the 1st degree, and battery, family violence. That is open under 26 PI 003316. Recommendation from pretrial is a level 2 and nothing further.
Mr. Scirocco?
Your Honor, the state's recommendation here is going to be an $8,000 surety total. $3,000 for each battery family violence charge, $1,000 for the simple battery family violence and cruelty to children charges, respectively. The victims here, Mr. Dustin Williams, who I do see online, he is the same victim as listed in the open case 26 PI 003316 with that arrest from April of last month, less than a month ago. And that was for attacking both him and juvenile LN, who is the subject of the cruelty to children in the 3rd degree here. And also, I would draw Your Honor's attention to the criminal history check that officers did just with respect to their investigation, and they saw several prior incidents involving Miss Norris that were not charged. Mr. Williams, who we did speak with, thank you for being here, sir. He did state to us he's known the defendant for 4 years. He's not in a relationship with her and has never been in a relationship with her. She was only supposed to visit him for Thanksgiving weekend, but ended up staying since, I would guess, November of last year. He confirmed the events in the warrant here and the injuries listed. He thinks the defendant needs some kind of help. He states he's okay with the defendant returning home and having contact, but we are certainly not. We are very, very concerned with this being the 2nd arrest for domestic violence in that household. involving these two victims here. So the state's recommending that $8,000 surety. If she bonds out, we are recommending FFIB, no further contact with Mr. Williams or juvenile LN. Stay away from 5215 Brittany Trail in South Fulton, and no drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond. And he may be able to confirm this, but this is what I have in the victim notes, that the juvenile LN, 17 years old, is not the defendant's daughter. It's your daughter, sir, biologically?
No, no, it's not biologically, sir.
Okay, well, the judge will swear you in here shortly. But if you could wait to speak on that, thank you.
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Williams, please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I mean, yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes.
so
Yes, ma'am.
Miss Norris was released on a surety bond back in April of 2025, and the condition is to have no further violent contact with Lydia Norris, and that's LN. Would that be correct?
That's correct. Her name is Lydia Norris.
Okay, and what else would you like to tell me?
She's a good person. She will give you the shirt off her back. She will give you her last dollar. I think that she's just I think that she's just overwhelmed. And she just instead of talking, she just lash out. So sometimes I think that she just need to actually calm down and just take a
Williams, she's not here right now, so this rhetorical is not going to help. What I want to know is whether you're comfortable with her being in the same room with her.
Yes, definitely. I have no problem with that at all whatsoever.
Thank you.
Because I do not want I'm not that type of person. I do not
Who called
want.
the police?
Ma'am,
Who called the police?
I did.
Thank you. Please mute your screen.
I just don't want mother and daughter to be separated from each other.
Well, that's a subject that's taken out of her hands.
I don't understand. Can you put that in layman terms to me?
I will shortly. Thank you. Please mute your screen.
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Kim, anything to add?
Well, she is 44 years old and born and raised in Tennessee. She came here. I think that this is only support that she has. She does not have any other way to make any bond payment. So we asked for the lowest possible bond, Your Honor, $1,000 surety bond. Thanks.
All right. In her other open felony case, 26 PI 003316, she's required to have no further violent contact with LN. Now, this case not only involves the same minor, but now involves the significant other of Mr. Williams. So this new case not only constitutes reoffending on the part of the defendant, but also constitutes her inability to comply with her bond conditions. On the battery family violence, that's going to be $2,500. The second count of battery family violence is going to be $1,500. Count 3, simple battery, is going to be $1,000, and the cruelty in third degree is $1,000. The total bond is going to be $6,000. It is a surety bond. She's to have no further contact with Dustin Williams, no further contact with LN. She's to stay away from the Brittany Trail location in South Fulton. No illegal drugs, no alcohol, no weapons. And her next court date is going to be June 2nd. Do you understand that ruling? No, she doesn't qualify for 10% because she's got an open felony case involving one of the same victims.
Can I ask you a question, Your Honor? Let me ask you a question. So, is this a felony?
She's got a felony case. This is a misdemeanor.
You said, excuse me?
She has an open felony case. This is a misdemeanor.
Okay.
So it's two cases back to back within a very short time period. involving the same location and apparently the same victims.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Can she retrieve personal belongings, Your Honor?
One-time visit, but she can't have any contact with Mr. Williams and Miss Norris, so she needs to figure out how to do that.
Yes.
Okay, position 33, I have a $10,000 surety bond, reset date to June 2nd. Position 34 is a 5,000 signature bond for pretrial level 3. Position 35, pool, is a 3,000 signature bond for pretrial level 3. 36, Ramsey, is a 3,500 signature bond through pretrial level 1. 37, Rana, is going to be a 6,500 surety bond, reset date June 2nd. Position 38, Reeves, is a $5,250 cash bond only, reset date June 2nd. Let me just finish the rest of the calendar and I'll come back to, well, let me find out. 39, Costa Shaver, is that a waiver?
We did make a consent bond for this,
Yes.
Your Honor. Was this accepted?
Oh, I was not able to carry out the consent bond because I was already done with the interview and he waived his appearance. So we don't have any objection to signature on bond though.
Do you have a waiver for his presence?
Yeah, he is a waiver case, Your Honor. He was
26,
not feeling well.
all right, 26 CR 3266U. What's the recommendation, Mr. Scirocco, in your proposed consent?
It's a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial services level 1, Your Honor. Complete 3 anger awareness classes through pretrial services. Have no further violent contact with Maria Shaver, excuse me. Have no further violent contact with Emily Shaver. Have no drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond, and have no further violations of the law. We were able to reach Emily Shaver, the sister of the defendant, who called the police, and she confirmed the events in the warrant. He did throw the cat stand into the wall, but she was thinking that he would benefit from counseling or anger management and was requesting a signature bond and no further violent contact. This is consistent with that. She states she's not in fear of her safety. I believe I see her there. If the court could stand for her.
Ms. Emily Shaver, please unmute and raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
I do, yes.
Are you comfortable with Costa Shaver being home with all of you?
Yes. I do, yes.
All right, and Maria feels the same way? Does Maria live with you?
She's here.
Yes, hi,
Hi, are you comfortable?
Judge. Yes, I do.
Okay, thank you. You may mute.
Yes, I feel very sorry for him here.
Okay, thank you. Miss Kim,
No,
I'm not doing this as a consent bond. I'll accept the state's recommendation. This will be a $3,000 signature bond for pretrial level 1. He would need to complete 3 anger awareness classes within 180 days of being released. No violent contact with Maria Shaver and Emily Shaver. No illegal drugs, no alcohol, and no weapons. Position 40, Spencer Jessica, is a 2,500 signature bond through pretrial services level 1. 42, I'll come back to 41. Vic is a $1,500 surety bond, reset to June 2nd. 43, Sheena White is a 3,500 signature bond through pretrial level 2. 44, Reginald Williams is a $3,000 surety bond, reset to June 2nd. And then I have 41 and 45 on the main calendar. But let me just touch on the add-on calendar. The add-on calendar, position 1, Collins, is a 3,500 surety bond, reset June 2nd. And position 2, Aisha Hudson, is a $1,500 surety bond, reset date June 2nd. Going back to Edward Square, position 41. Is that a reset, waiver, or release?
this is waiver, Your Honor.
All right. 26 CR 3224C, accused of criminal trespass. Any priors, Ms. Harvey?
23 cycles. Last arrest was September 18, 2025, out of Dunwoody for theft by shoplifting. Appears to be on probation out of Fulton County for aggravated assault. Sentenced January 27, 2023 to 9 years probation. Appears to be an open case out of DeKalb County for theft by shoplifting. There's a 2014 criminal trespass, NOLO, 2023 battery in a public transit, 2021 theft by shoplifting, 2018 disorderly conduct, 2007.
That's good. Thank you so
Okay.
much. This is a CT case. Go ahead, Mr. Are we okay with the 1,000 set by the magistrate? He's got a probation hold.
Yes, Your
There's a
Honor.
probation hold. Yeah, that would be fine. There is that aggravated assault battery in a public transit vehicle was obviously a MARTA case, but in this case, we'll be fine with that. Social worker visit for housing, BH, stay away from all MARTA premises and property, no drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond.
That's granted. Ms. Kim, we good?
Can we have a lower bond, Your Honor? He's not able to pay. He's retired, 78 years old, and almost 79 years old. And Your Honor, he does not have anybody who can pay for his bond at all.
I agree, except that this recent aggravated assault, I was looking at that case too. That's the lowest I can go, 1,000 surety.
Yes, Your Honor. Okay.
1,000 surety, stay away from all MARTA property. Next court date is June 2nd. He does have that felony probation hold as well.
Yes.
40, that was 41, and then next one is 45. Jarvis Woodliff.
Yes. Waiver, Your Honor.
All right. And this is 26 CR 3187L. He's accused of criminal trespass. Ms. Harvey?
Last arrest was May 7th, 2026 with the Georgia State University Police for criminal trespass. There are 5 separate cases from 2022 for criminal trespass convictions. There's 2 from 2023 criminal trespass, and he received first offender in 2024 for criminal damage to property and willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer. There are also theft by taking.
No, that's good. This is a CT charge. Thank you, Ms. Harvey. Thank you. And thank you so much for hanging in here with us all this time.
No
all
problem.
right. Mr. Scirocco, we've got
Yes.
a $1,500 surety bond. Is the state staying with that amount?
We were recommending it remain set, Judge. Social worker visit for BH and housing, stay away from all GSU premises and property, no drugs, weapons, or alcohol while out on bond.
Ms. Kim?
Yes, he was arrested May 17, 10:54 a.m., Your Honor. So technically it is more than 72 hours. So we would like to argue for Riverside. However, he was reset by Judge Morrow, so we may not be able to argue for that, I guess. He had probably behavior.
Took the words right out of my mouth. It's not a Riverside issue.
Yeah. So anyway, Your Honor, we asked for the lowest possible bond. He has been residentially challenged for the last 2 years. He has no one to pay for any bond whatsoever, Your Honor. And he refused to have a social worker visit, even though I want him to have a social worker visit. I really think he does need that.
Okay.
So I court order to force him to have a social worker visit.
Bond is set at $1,000 surety bond and stay away from all GSU property. A social worker needs to see him for BH issues as well as housing. Okay, thank you.
You can say 1,000?
1,000.
Okay.
All right. Now, I'm so sorry if some of you want to leave, but I have a couple of people who came in late and want to address. So those of you who want to address the court, please start your video, but do not mute your screen. Start your video, but do not mute your screen. Ms. Chamber, we've already addressed your case, so he'll be released within 24 hours.
I'm sorry.
He will be released.
Could you repeat that?
He will be
sorry.
released within 24 hours.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, he says he's not able to take his medicines.
All right.
He's not able to
So,
take his medicine there. He's asked for it. Should we bring it
So-
down there?
Sure, if you want to, but they're not going to give it to him. You have to wait till he's released. Then you can pick him up
Okay.
with this medication.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Brown, which case are you here for?
Yes, I was actually online. I don't know, the Zoom was acting up, but
Which
I'm
case
here.
are you here for?
Oh, Tamisa McCoy.
McCoy. Okay. Tamisa McCoy received a 3,500 signature bond through pretrial services, where she will need to report to pretrial twice a month. She is to have no further contact with you, and she's to stay away from 5761. I can't read my own writing. It begins with a B, but somewhere in Union City.
Yes, ma'am. So I just wanted to just voice something so it can be on record. I think the young lady said something about, she was calling me. This lady, Tamisa, has been harassing me, following me from Union City to Buckhead. She's come to my house. She's putting things in my mailbox. She's threatening me. And so I had to, go get a weapon because she's followed me at like 4 o'clock in the morning.
Let me just go into this. If you have a pen and paper, write this down.
I just think a signature bond is wild when the judge has already told her to leave us alone. She has several
All right, I
PTOs
want
out.
one more word out of you, and you can take this up with them. Do you have your pen and paper?
1 second. Okay, yes, ma'am.
26
Okay.
CR 003 245H.
345H.
This is the case number. You will go to the Superior Court Family Violence Office, and you can fill out a petition for stalking.
She's on a stalking warrant. I've done that.
Ms. Brown, if you don't want to do that, that's entirely up to you.
Well, I'm just trying to gain understanding because we've been to court so many times that I thought I've done that.
You went to Superior Court?
I don't know what court I went to. Whoever gave us the TPO.
Okay, that would be. So did you receive a TPO?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Do you have a hearing date?
Well, they couldn't find her. That's why the warrant was put out.
Okay. So if you cannot find her, then go ahead and apply for another one. She's at the Fulton County Jail until she's released from pretrial, and then you can have a process server.
Okay, so just so I'm understanding, so go back down
Now,
to.
I'm not giving you legal advice. I'm just telling you these are your avenues.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else who wants to address anything on these cases that has not been addressed? All right, everyone, have a great afternoon. And Ms. Bridgewater, are you in the clerk's office?
Yes, ma'am.
I'll see you soon. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Good night, everyone.